Hello, 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 hello. Hi, guys.
What's up, everybody? It's 2019.
Oh, and there's 4 of us.
Everybody, it's 20.
Because that's a good start to the new year. Hi, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. What's up, honey, please?
What's up, honey, please?
What's up, what's up? Hi, guys. Welcome to... Season 2. Season 2. You know, I'm just calling it season 2 because it's a new year. Yeah. We're just in the same. We're in the same place. And
it's gonna be one long season.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Hey,
whoa!
Here we are.
Oh, I'm blurry.
Oh, you know why? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. There we go. That's better. Let's close this up. Welcome, guys.
What's up, it's
Happy New Year. What's up, MM7? Yes, I'm trying to put chat here, but I don't know how much that's working. Because I was like, cool, it'll be big and we can see it and we can just look. Season 2, Electric Boogaloo. Tonight's also the Golden Globes. Yeah, yeah, Madeline.
Oh my god, is it?
Yeah.
I totally, that's how out of the loop I am.
So I'm a big old fan of the Oscars. I've never watched the Golden Globes.
Me neither.
I always go like, I always see when the Golden Globes come out and then go like, oh, cool. That has no bearing on anything. Yeah. And it's interesting to see.
They're like, it's a precursor to the Oscars, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Because they nominate like 10 things in comedy.
They do TV too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Let's be real. TV's honestly where it's at these days. We all know it.
Well.
I just watched the Haunting on Hill House.
Oh, yeah.
On Netflix. Yeah. And I rarely binge watch stuff, and I binge watched it over the holidays. Yeah. And I flipped out for it. So Jeff generously, we haven't had Netflix for a while, and Jeff was like, I hop on mine. I don't know if this is too personal, but I just hopped on your account and I discovered. It's way too personal.
Yeah. I discovered rediscovered Netflix.
Did you watch The Toys That Made Us?
A little bit. I watched
Which one did you watch?
I watched probably 80% of the Transformers one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was definitely
an awesome show.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Also, I just kind of started looking at the homepage and I was like, oh my gosh, there's just so much stuff. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it can be very overwhelming.
And yeah, and this was, because I was flipping through, I was like, and I didn't even really look. Mm-hmm. It was just what was on the first page, and I was like, there are 5 things that I want to, whatever, and I was like, and this was last night, and I was sitting there, and I was like, well, cool, like, we got to do filmography in 2 days, so I'll just watch some of this stuff till 4 o'clock in the morning. I was wrong. It was today. I thought today was Saturday.
Oh wow!
I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning, just like kind of like I'll watch.
You're like, I got a day to burn.
And then, I was like I watched a little better. I watched for whatever reason. I watched the British version of The Office, the first episode, and then the American version.
Oh yeah.
I watched it. I was just like.
Had you ever seen the British version?
I had. I think I'd seen both of those episodes.
It took me a couple tries, and then I was like, oh, I get it, and I really liked it.
Watching Oscars. Oh yeah, we gotta do something for the Oscars.
Oh yeah.
I love the Oscars. I watched the animated Spider-Man film yesterday. It was amazing. We did this.
We did too.
It was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Oh boy.
Life. Yeah, it was yesterday.
With Ben Moody.
With Ben Moody, who was
on
here
the show
for our Die Hard, really the last episode. Guys, it's been a while. I missed you. I hope you guys are doing well.
Hope the holidays were good.
Yeah.
Boy, that Spider-Man film was amazing, wasn't it?
Pretty crazy.
I'm not even that into superhero stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Like I had superhero fatigue, but that was just a jolt of fresh air.
And stylistically, goodness, and we were talking about this, I just the look of it was so great, and I almost feel like I was too invested in the story to kind of appreciate it. And so I almost want just a coffee table book of it.
Yeah.
Or some kind of pictorial book, some sort of small, maybe that size. If Spider-Man...
Do you think it would work in still frames?
I don't, I'm not sure.
it was so, it's overwhelming.
I thought you were making the same joke. Are you making?
What are you saying?
I was moving toward being they should take Spider-Man and put him into some sort of pictorial book form.
Oh yeah, right.
But
with panels and
I don't know. Maybe they could
some sort of narrative arc over maybe multiple coffee books.
Exactly. I don't know. Because what you were saying makes sense, but then I was also are you also doing? I don't know if you were seeing.
No, because I'm not that jaded.
Nah.
Not everything is a joke to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wonder, like...
It was just, like the
just
animation
frames.
style, that type of animation style is usually very overwhelming for me, to the point that I don't like it, but they somehow made it work beautifully.
It's gorgeous. I mean, and it's so wonderfully styled. Trying to donate $1, but it's not popping up. Oh, sorry, Commercial Hippie. I appreciate the thought. It just won the Globes for Best Animated. Oh, sweet.
What?
Great.
Beating Incredibles 2.
Well, you guys...
Honestly, I enjoyed it more than Incredibles, and I loved Incredibles 2.
I didn't see it, but you said people said good things. Guys, if you wouldn't mind updating us with how the Globes are going, I would love to know that. Hey, I'm gonna turn this.
Maybe I'll bring up that on my phone too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Get some tallies.
Oh, I'm gonna hold on, real quick. Speaking of the holidays.
What is this?
Dumbest thing in the world. It looks really cool, and then you go, oh, it's...
It actually looks a lot like him.
It's Danny. So, yeah. So Merry Christmas. I just saw that one.
I can have this?
Oh, yeah, come on.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Check out my gift, everybody.
It's Danny Madigan from Last Action Hero, which I know, Yeah.
It's like, I wonder why they had so many extras of these, because...
Yeah. And
that's
then,
so awesome.
Part 2. Which one do you want?
Whoa!
Hey, look at this, guys.
Wow!
A little merch.
I want this one.
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah.
Dude!
Yeah, not bad, right?
That's so cool! Thanks, buddy!
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man, that's so cool!
Happy holidays. Should we both put them on?
Should we put them on right now?
Put them on. Guys, we got filmography shirts. All right.
Wow.
All right.
This show keeps getting more professional by the day.
You would think. I mean, we got shirts, we got a second mic, but we're still, we'll see. We'll see. I want to have all the trappings of a successful show.
Now we have to wear these every week.
Yeah.
We can't wash them because then we'll ruin our luck.
I'm going to scoot back here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, how about that?
Yeah?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Fits really well.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that. Cool.
Oh, it's cool to wear like your own band shirt, right? It's like, I think I've heard that. Yeah.
Oh, man. What a special treat.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Absolutely.
I got you nothing, so...
You got me a really sweet-ass coffee table book for my birthday.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
I did do that, didn't I? I forgot about that.
Yeah. Guys,
cool, man.
I'll take this moment to say, if you want to get your own filmography shirt...
Yeah! Get that merch!
Yeah.
Get that merch!
Yeah, but yeah, I like it. Well, hi.
So here's the deal.
Welcome back. Yeah, so
we decided to kick off the year with what is this genre called again?
So basically, this is a good way to get started, because we were talking about sort of the second season, the second iteration, I guess, of this show. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the music down, and we kind of moving away from doing that New Hollywood thing that we used to do, that we were doing. And now we're kind of moving into doing sort of theme stuff, which we had talked about. And kind of every month we're going to sort of pick a theme and sort of pick four movies that go together with it. At first, or maybe sometimes we might stretch it over 2, sometimes we might split it, whatever. But like that's basically the idea. And this time, to kick off the year, we talked about sort of an overarching series on AI, artificial intelligence, just to start the year off.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it'll be in several parts, and this is the first part of one part of it, which because as we kind of started looking at stuff, we were like, oh, I was like, oh my gosh, like AI, and I was like, yeah, we have computers like 2001 and blah blah blah, and then I was like, oh, but very quickly it became apparent there's like computer movie AI where it's like a big evil computer. Right. And then AI where it's like a robot.
Right.
And then there's some stuff that kind of like is both, and there's stuff that kind of falls in between, and we can make sort of decisions based on those individual
like
things.
Terminator, Terminator 2.
Terminator.
But I would argue Terminator is more robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can make both, right?
Skynet's the AI, but that's more in the the background type stuff. Yeah.
Right, and it's like because it's like we're fighting the robot, but the robot is an agent of Skynet, and what we're really trying to stop is Skynet taking over the world. But the immediate thing and the plot points are, I don't know. It's also like a time travel movie.
This is what it's about the robot.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
And this is Edward Furlong.
Basically. Yeah, I was really excited when I saw it because there was only one of them, and there were just other toys, and I looked at this and I was like, Last Action Hero. It's Dan. But I was
it looks like him.
It does.
You know who has the other one of this figure?
No.
This kid. He's like, yeah.
It's great because it's really emblematic of my favorite part of Last Action Hero, where he gets like a rocket launcher.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Grappling hook that's the size of a bazooka.
I remember when Jurassic Park first came out, and I bought a bunch of the toys, and I was just like, I don't remember Alan Grant having like a bazooka, but whatever.
Yeah.
And also, this doesn't look anything like Alan Grant at all.
This looks exactly like my Sergeant Slaughter figure, but like repainted. I don't know why. That's weird. Well, yeah. So
we're starting off with we're talking about AI, like unfriendly AI.
Yeah.
And we're kicking it off with Jean-Luc Godard's ALPHAVILLE, which I had never seen.
And I had actually...
Had you seen it before?
No, I had not. I had not actually even heard of it before it came up.
I had heard about it. I did not know it was a Godard movie, though.
Yeah, and it's surprising that it is. Sort of.
Yes.
Well, not having seen it, but...
That's why I didn't think it was, because I was like, oh, it's a sci-fi...
Yeah, noir kind of...
Yeah. And, so I watched it last night, and, needless to say, I hated it.
Yeah.
Like every other Godard movie I've seen, which is only 2.
Yeah.
But I have a visceral reaction to this guy where I watch one of his movies and I get angry.
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't a movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretentious. And then I read, and then every time I watch one of his movies, I read up on him because I'm like, how is this guy super well respected and famous? And then I read about him, and I'm like, oh, and I read interviews and quotes from him. I'm like, yeah, oh, so not only is his work pretentious, the way he speaks about other artists and stuff is judgmental and pretentious. And I don't like this guy. And I didn't like this movie, and I'm ready to rip it apart.
You hear that, Jean-Luc? Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
I get all of that. Breathless, what it was.
That's the other one that's the one I remember seeing. I saw another one that I can't even, and I barely remember anything about Breathless, but I was just like, oh, this is that thing where when people parody what a French New Wave film is, it literally is they're parodying Godard movies, which it's a bunch of philosophizing and poetry reading about love, and everyone's smoking cigarettes and turtlenecks and wearing sunglasses inside. Yeah. And I just don't like him. Director Jean-Luc, totally not Picard.
You're right, exactly. Yeah.
Here's the silver lining. Over the holidays, in addition to watching The Haunting of Hill House, I started watching Star Trek The Next Generation and fell in love with it completely. I'm watching it every night, and I absolutely love that show. And I've never been a Star Trek person, and I started watching it after watching the Toys That Made a Star Trek episode, and I fell in love with it. And I'm like, I'm like, oh, am I a Trekkie now?
You're like, here's the silver lining about Jean-Luc Godard. His name rhymes with a character in a show that I do like. So that's the most positive thing I can say about ALPHAVILLE. He's a pretentious bad, then please rip on him. I mean, I'm going to
because I did not like this movie, and I've seen 2 of his other movies, and then I read up on him, and I just think because he would rip on other people.
Sure.
Like, to the point that Billy Wilder, at the time...
Just punched him in the face.
...was like... I think he called him a lazy bum, and... Because I think Godard ripped on him, because he was like, he's a studio filmmaker, and that's not what I do. Like, I'm a true artist. Oh. And he was like, he's not an artist because he can't tell a story.
No! No!
Which I would argue is correct.
Dang! Yeah. I mean, well... So I'm trying to think of the other... Because here's the other...
Well, Frat, you can get these T-shirts. Lobro posted a link.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit above.
If you get exclamation point TeePublic, it's on the TeePublic site. What's up, Ab?
But
Calling
yeah, they're
someone
pretty
a
cool.
bum is an underrated burn. I know. Yeah, yeah.
It really is, you bum.
If it's
Or
from
bozo.
the right person, if it's from the right person, like from like a tough New York uncle, or from Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. I'm a bum. But it's like a self burn too.
Yeah.
People use it a lot, you know, and like like in what the Brando dock worker movie.
On the waterfront?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. It's pretty good Brando, right?
That's a awesome Brando.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, I'm Brando. Hey, Stella. Ow. Ow! I'm the best actor in the world.
Oh, you went Pacino, and then there's
I don't know what
there's some Gilbert Godfrey in there for like a split second.
Yeah.
They want to be a great people, Kal-El. They wish to be. They could be.
What the? I don't know.
Oh boy.
Look at this. I'm so ticked off.
We're gonna be doing a lot of
digressing
because I don't want to talk about this movie all that much.
So here's the deal. ALPHAVILLE. First of all, bless you if you watch. Did you watch it? Did you watch it? It's a terrible choice for like not. I'm not saying anything against the movie. It's a terrible choice to kick this off because I was really excited by it.
So I was excited to watch it. So was I.
I'd never seen it. I didn't really know what to expect, and I was like, "We're gonna come back strong with this movie that neither of us see."
That's what I felt.
And I was like, "I haven't seen it." I don't know
here's
if
what they did: they blockbustered me because they have a really cool cover for it, where it's like in neon letters, and then like the main character guy is wearing a trench coat with a gun, and you're like, "That looks really interesting and cool, and like a really unique take on like because it's a sci-fi noir. How awesome is that?" And it's got really good, it's got insane reviews.
Yeah,
it got like 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, so it's like people.
But a lot of reviews on there.
Like I looked it up, and one of the things was like my favorite film by like a Guardian film critic and stuff. You okay? You right? It's good. Yeah.
I felt like I got duped after I watched it.
Sure.
And I felt like a bum.
So.
These shirts are so cool.
Well, good. I'm glad.
It's really awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Because I told him before the break, I was like, at some point we're gonna have to do shirts. So at that point, had you already done shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I had to. Yeah, I was like, that's what I had to be like. I was like, I agree with that.
You're a good actor.
Yeah.
Playing cool.
I'm a good liar. No, I'm not. I'm a terrible liar. So yeah. So again, drop a 1 in the chat if you saw it.
And this is gonna be one where if you didn't,
it's fine. Yeah.
It's just fine.
Yeah, because
and frankly, it's probably better for your psyche.
So I'm gonna be
unapologetically harsh on this.
Which is good.
It's not like you can watch it and it'd be okay because you didn't hate it. You didn't hate it.
No. Oh no. I don't.
You even liked it.
I didn't dislike it.
If you didn't have to watch it for this show, would you have turned it off? Because that's where because when I texted you, I texted him 30 minutes in, and I was like, I don't know what I'm watching here.
Yeah.
Because it starts off, and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
It starts off weird, and then it gets weirder for the first 30, and then it kind of finds a storyline groove.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, the thing is, it's like we're talking about how it's weird. It's like it is slow paced. It isn't what you would call action packed. But it also like, I mean,
it's fine.
Yeah, totally right, exactly, and definitely fine if it's done right. I think, but it also like the story themes, the story conventions, the way the way in which it goes about it is probably the most unique thing about it. But the nuts and bolts of the story, of the actual plot, are things that you've seen before in 1984, Aldous Huxley. I mean, like,
and that's what I kept
very.
Because when did 1984 come out?
Like 40 something.
Oh wow!
And Brave New World is like 30 something.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yeah.
well then in that case, so it really is a poor man's version.
Shit, I can think of the follow, but so is everything. There are a ton of
but
like 1984 birthed and continues to birth decades and decades and decades of progeny in terms of
Isn't
media.
Orwell great?
Yeah.
I mean, like Animal Farm and
you know I never read Animal Farm.
It's so like
I never actually read all of 1984.
It's really it's so cool how
it is great.
It all comes like a lot of that stuff just came from one guy.
Absolutely, yeah, it's crazy, and it also is. yeah, and that's
You accidentally watched Alpha Dog and said it was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty.
Juan Pequeno, really?
That's really
so funny because so Alpha Dog, boy, we're just gonna even like.
Then you watched a better movie.
We're just gonna right at the get go here because my wife was like, "What if you accidentally watch Alpha Dog?" And Alpha Dog is a movie.
Is that with Timberlake?
It was with Timberlake.
And
I think it's Nick Cassavetes.
It is, yes.
Yeah, and it's Timberlake and Anton Yelchin and like Olivia Wilde in like a young in like an old an early, I think Olivia Wilde in an early thing. Sharon Stone is quite good in it.
Oh yeah.
It's this very interesting thing.
Emile Hirsch. Yeah.
Emile Hirsch.
Right.
Yeah, it was a combination of people that I was like,
Emile Hirsch.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting.
That I like Emile Hirsch?
Nope.
Do you not like Emile Hirsch? Have you seen Into the Wild?
I have seen Into the Wild. He's good at that.
Yeah, he is good.
He is good in the right role, but like he's the guy where it is not.
I like him in Into the Wild. I haven't seen him in much.
I like him in.
I saw him in that, but I don't remember.
I like him in Milk. I think he's well cast in Milk.
Yeah.
He's an interesting dude that I'm kind of.
Speed Racer.
Oh yeah. Right.
He's pretty good in Speed Racer.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine as Speed Racer. Yeah. Drug dealing delinquent Johnny True Love. Oh yeah, this is Alpha Dog. Let's talk about Alpha Dog. Partying with his peers and getting a steady dope supply from Dad Sonny. However, when a dangerous customer refuses to pay Johnny and right-hand man, Frankie kidnapped the junkie's younger brother, intending only to keep the kid hidden and happy until they get the cash. So would-be gangsters find themselves out of their depth and the police get involved in Alpha Dog! Yeah, exactly. It's a true story. It's a very tragic true story. Right. And it's a movie where it's a bunch of just rich kids. And they kidnap a kid as a joke, and they're all just like real pieces of crap.
Yeah,
all those people. And it's interesting because like you're supposed to not like anyone. You're just not like anyone for a while. Besides like Anton Yelchin, like maybe one or two people.
Yeah.
But and it's this interesting. It's almost sounded like this almost famous thing because like the kid gets kidnapped, but then he like likes being with them, and then he's like, it's cool hanging out with these like gang criminal guys but they're all like
he's like take me out of my bored life type thing.
Yeah, but they're all like silver spoon criminals, like they're all like super rich, and you're just like, you guys are just sacks of crap.
You're not even coming from a hard life.
Yeah, and they're just like whatever. But it does this thing where there's something. It's a true story, and something happens in the movie, and the movie starts out. It does this thing very early on and throughout the film where it does timestamps, and it's like something like 2 days until something, or it's like a countdown, and it starts timestamping it. And early on, I just was like, I didn't like the movie. I kind of didn't like the performance. I didn't whatever. I was like, I really didn't like the movie, even though it the premise is on its face, workable, and it draws you in a bit, but like I don't know, something about it I really couldn't stand it until the last like 20 minutes of the movie, because then A, it picks up, and B, the timestamps either get more frequent or you're just getting closer and closer and you realize it, and this thing that has been building up the whole movie really piles on the tension.
You wanted more of that throughout.
It's an interesting movie because it's an example that I tried out sometimes because I like for 90% of the movie did not like the movie at all, and then the last 10% of the movie, I just thumbs down never. Yeah, couldn't stand it, and I was just like, that performance, that right, I don't like that, blah blah. And then the last 10% of the movie, it grabbed me.
But that's why it's so important to have a great ending.
And that's what I'm saying. That's
like even if you have you can have a subpar movie up to the final act, and if that final act works, you can walk away being like, it was pretty good,
absolutely,
or not bad, or sometimes you'd be like, that was a pretty decent movie. But if it's vice versa, and you're like, you have 3/4 of a great movie, and then you completely botch the ending, you're gonna walk away hating that movie.
It's far worse, and it's fascinating too. Again, this was the movie that made me really really hammer it home because I could not stand it. I kept like talking to Akash the whole time about it. It's like blah blah blah, this sucks, whatever. And the last 10 minutes, it hauled me in, and I couldn't look away, and it really nailed me those last. Like, I could even apply
that to Alphaville a little bit because as the movie went on, particularly in the last third, I was paying attention more.
Yeah. Because stuff
because things started to happen and like on a narrative level,
things start to pay off and come back.
Does this movie ponder and just move around at such a glacial pace, and it's just people spouting philosophical, thematic mumbo jumbo for 90% of this movie.
That's fair.
And it's just not a lot happens, or the things that do happen are so bizarre and seem cheap and amateurish to me.
Definitely true.
And I don't know if that's a product of the time, and if that's something that he prided himself on, was the fact that it was like, I appreciate that it's a sci-fi movie, that they didn't use any gadgets or anything like that. They just filmed in Paris using, at the time, was very forward-thinking architecture and things like that. So it's a lot of like modern architecture and things of that nature, and that's cool. We were talking about yesterday. I love lo-fi sci-fi movies. I'm like, it's one of my favorite genres.
But there is something, and it's funny because I thought of that too, and I thought of what you had said and stuff. And real quick, sorry, it says, I'm sorry if the start sucks. I just won't watch the whole thing. And that is the trade-off, right? Like, if you've got a dynamite 10 minutes but the rest of your movie sucks, people will just not watch the rest of it. So that's the trade-off. But a movie can totally fail in the ending, and that's way worse. Absolutely. There are sometimes when I, like, love a movie, love it. And then sometimes it's just, like, not even, it's not even that it, like, they screwed up the ending necessarily, but it just, it went away where I was like, oh, but to me, it'd be more satisfying if you'd done this. Yeah. And I just go, dang it!
I know.
And what drives me insane about that is that movie doesn't exist!
I know. Yeah.
And it won't ever be made because it's 90% of this movie, and what the crap, and that sucks. But Alpha Dog went the other way, and I use it as a phrase. I'll be like, for a while after that, I'd be like, oh, it Alpha Dogged me, which is like a movie that I can't stand, and then like flips it up. So Alphaville, you're saying almost Alpha Dogged you, maybe a little bit.
Enough to where by the end, no, I mean it didn't. It didn't.
Right,
what am I saying? It didn't. But like I was more into it and paying attention once just things started to grab hold on a narrative level, and he started doing stuff that was more like, okay, he's doing some plot stuff. He's doing actions to tell the story as opposed to just sitting in a room smoking cigarettes, having this weird AI that controls the city with the worst voice. So we should break down what this is about.
Yeah, definitely. So
because I'm gonna have an ulcer.
So basically, lo-fi hip hop radio beats to relax study. Yeah. First of all, is the mix okay? We got a second mic.
Look at us.
We got a mic.
We got shirts. We got 2 mics.
Hey,
it's 2019.
2 mics. It's the year of each of us having something that we need.
Also, J. Paul, you talked about Into the Wild, and that is Emile Hirsch showing his dick down the river. That's absolutely him.
Doing what, his dick?
He said, is that the movie, Into the Wild, is that the movie where he floats down the river and you see his dick? And the answer is absolutely
It's a resounding yes.
And it's in slow-mo. It's fantastic.
I've not seen all of Into the Wild.
It's a great movie.
Sean Penn, man.
But I mean, I when I saw it, I was like, I didn't realize that Sean Penn was like a good director, and I was like, what the hell? Well, because it's a great movie, and it's a directorial like tour de force on top of everything else. It's like fantastic.
Well, and that is what I'm saying. I'm just impressed by Sean Penn. Like it's just great. Watched the movie because we were reading the book in high school. Yeah. I think people like there's a thing where like there's a cultural phenomenon where they go like because it happened when I was young. And in like elementary, middle school, where they're like, the way to get boys to read is to give them a survival in the wilderness story, because it happened because Into the Wild, because I taught it at high school and they started putting Into the Wild on stuff and like read Into the Wild and people like it. And then when I was a kid, it was Hatchet.
Yeah,
it was Hatchet. They're like, you like Hatchet? I was like, no, I don't like Hatchet.
I did.
Well, great,
but I was like 10.
Yeah, sure. So was I. But I just was kind of like,
I think Hatchet was like the first book I read.
Yeah, and that's it. I think it's an entry point for life because they're like, I know you don't want to read like whatever, but there's like Hatchet and there's like Indian in the Cupboard, and you kids like that. Yeah. You kids are dumb. You like dumb shit. Here,
is Hatchet dumb?
It's not dumb. It's not dumb. Sorry.
This fucking guy with Hatchet.
I'm not. It's not dumb.
I just remember him like taking. I think he took his hatchet and he took a rock.
Yeah.
And that's how he started the fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
There was My Side of the Mountain as well.
MacGyver. Yeah.
Yeah.
My Side of the, what's that?
Is
that the one with Idris Elba and Kate Winslet.
Oh,
that
well,
movie
that's a
that came out.
Well, that is also a movie. I can't remember what that's called. It's like White into the White or White Mountain or something.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Showed us Platoon. Oh, that's interesting. But My Side of the Mountain was another in those series of like a kid who like I think crashed on the side of a mountain and had to like build a lean-to. That's how I learned what a lean-to was.
What's a lean-to?
That's like a makeshift shelter where you lean something against something.
Is that the one that
might be
Alive? I remember reading whatever. I think Alive is what the movie's called with Ethan Hawke. Whatever the book is. Yeah.
I don't know.
I read the book.
Oh, really?
Of whatever that was, I think.
Showed us Platoon sounds like code for something?
I made sparks and it was a holy shit, I can burn stuff. Yeah, totally. I remember reading that, Wolf Rat. Like, I remember being a kid and reading that portion of the book.
I remember reading it too, and I remember being bored. And I know everyone loved it. And I was like, I don't care.
It's called Hatchet.
I know. Well, I know. We didn't kill anyone with a hatchet. Not that I wanted that. Is that weird?
It is weird.
I didn't want that. I just was like, I don't want to read this, man. I like Ninja Turtles. I like
Skinning Cats. I don't know.
I like stuff that's. I like other books that are well written. I just I'm not.
This guy was like reading the Bronte sisters and.
I was like, please give me some more Wuthering Heights, please.
Yeah.
As I tossed my scarf and said, "No hatchet for me, thank you. I'll be in the corner of the playground reading Byron." No, I was bored by it, but everyone loved it, and it's an interesting phenomenon.
Lobro with another hot take. Another contrarian hot take.
Get boned. Get boned, Gary
He's like
Paulson.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And Maniac McGee can suck a...
What's that?
Oh, it's another one that everyone loves.
Maniac McGee.
Jerry Spinelli.
Do you remember McGee and Me?
No, what is that?
It was like, I think it was like a Christian, like, thing. And when I used to go to church, it was like a big thing that we would watch.
Anyway, we have not talked about this movie yet. So
literally everything else we're talking about is more interesting than this movie.
Bridge to Terabithia. It was sort of the elite, deep love of tragedy.
I finished watching this movie last night, and I was like, this is gonna be a great way to kick off 2019. And then I finished watching it, and I was like, we have made a giant mistake. And I even talked with Kelsey because she kept hearing, she was like, you're groaning a lot, because I kept going, this movie. And I was like, the only angle I can take on this is to burn it to the ground, or else it's gonna be a real boring one.
So let's just lay the thing out for you, right?
Should we get the IMDb synopsis?
Sure. Thank you. That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Platoon is the shit.
I've not seen Platoon.
What?
I don't know.
We got to put that in our war movie section. Platoon is great.
Yeah.
Come on, this. With the music, and then he goes like this.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful movie.
It's a good DVD cover.
Good Berenger performance.
Tom Berenger, rock and roll.
Yeah, man.
You know, they say that he's the guy. Well, they don't say that. I say that. They say that he's the guy that you get when you can't, for a baseball movie, when you can't get Kevin Costner. But I love Tom Berenger. I mean,
Tom Berenger's great.
He's great. Tom Berenger's fantastic.
And he's fantastic in Platoon.
He's great. What's up, dude? How you doing, my friend?
Bridge to Terabithia.
Tom Hardy
said tragedy. I also love tragedy. Yes.
Tom Hardy said he based his Revenant voice on him. That's interesting because I feel like every other voice that Tom Hardy used, he based on a British person who had fallen down a well and had several stacks of aluminum garbage can lids.
I love Tom Hardy, but I also think Tom Hardy is like, you know what makes great acting? Not being able to understand what I'm saying.
Well, what sucks is that they keep casting him as like this brute kind of musclehead like animal, which like he plays well.
Yeah.
But he plays other things very well. He's incredibly charismatic and intelligent. He's the coolest part of Inception, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he's so smooth and intellectual.
He steals the show in Inception.
Dream a little bigger, darling.
It's just amazing. That was I remember seeing Inception and going, yeah, DiCaprio's in this. A lot of people are in this. Buildings are folding in on themselves and eating them and swallowing themselves. Who the heck is that dude? He's awesome.
Because that was the first time I was like, who's that guy? Yeah. You're watching Venom right now? Yeah. I haven't seen Venom. It was the first time I watched the trailer and I was just like, I don't know.
Oh, lots of love, Josh Williams. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. Man, yeah.
Oh, buddy, I'm so sorry.
Hug my dog's extra for you, and I'm so sorry, dude. Pups are so sweet.
I'm gonna hug my dog extra hard tonight.
Lots of love.
Oh, that sucks, man. So sorry.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's just a thing that. Yeah, it sucks. It's like losing a family member.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Lots of love, and thank you for sharing. And thanks for being here, man. Yeah, I'm gonna look up the ALPHAVILLE.
Did you ever see Postman? Is that
I've
Costner's Postman?
God, I haven't watched it yet. So Divine, it's his favorite movie. He sent it to me on Blu-ray, which is the sweetest.
What? That's awesome.
I can't wait to watch it. I cannot wait to watch it.
Let's watch it together, and then we'll do it for the show.
Yeah, we're gonna find a way to do it.
Because I've always wanted to see it.
Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
We're gonna post-apocalyptic stuff. We'll do like 6 Mad Max movies, and we'll do.
We should just do Waterworld. And then Postman.
Yeah.
And then because like people were shitting on Waterworld, and then he followed up with Postman, right?
Yeah, basically.
And
they were like, "That's the same thing. Screw it."
And they were just like, because didn't that kind of end him? I mean, that ended the Costner era. Like after Postman, it was like
until the resurgence.
What was the resurgence?
I mean, he's just
he's around, but he's not like he doesn't anchor movies anymore.
I mean, it depends. Like
I think the last big one he did was For the Love of the Game, which I actually thought was awesome at the time.
I haven't seen that. But he came back. He made this sort of like post. Excuse me, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he did that awesome movie with Ashton Kutcher about National Guard people. Can you guys hear the sarcasm in my voice?
I have to like, excuse me, it's hurting. It was like 3,000 Miles of Graceland, which whatever. But he did like he's
keep naming awesome movies.
Yeah, 3,000 Miles of Graceland is ridiculous, but it's super fun. It's ridiculous.
But that's because it's more like it's got Kurt Russell as Elvis in it. Well, I would watch Kurt Russell
and
read
Kevin
the phone
Costner
book.
as Elvis.
But see, here's I know you're a big Costner guy, but like Costner to me works in very specific.
Yeah,
because he's dry.
He is.
Which is weird because in Silverado, he's like the funniest part of that movie.
I can't wait. I want to see. I've wanted to see that for my whole life.
It's like, oh yeah, Mr. Brooks.
Mr. Brooks. Well, but there are these other like where he's playing like these. Gosh, there was something.
Oh, he was in Man of Steel. That's right.
Yeah,
but that's a supporting thing. That's not him like anchoring that movie, and he was awesome in that though.
Yeah, he's in Man of Steel. He's made a comeback. He was in a couple things where he was like a violent spy kind of dude. He was in that with
Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Great.
Look, open range. All right, I take it back.
Well, yeah.
I love Kevin Costner.
So do I.
And he's still doing it.
He's got it. You know what? So one of the I guess I'm just gonna give everything. But one of the series that I want to do is Stockholm Syndrome, movies about Stockholm Syndrome, because one of them I came across that I've always wanted to see is A Perfect World, which is directed by Clint Eastwood, stars Kevin Costner as a criminal who gets out and kidnaps a kid.
Oh, I've never even heard of that
bond
movie.
Develops between them.
Is that like in his?
This is like to 94, 95.
Is this like he had a whole era where he was just doing nothing but like crime books, like with a blood in the title. I felt like Clint Eastwood was doing a lot of movies
Clint Eastwood
that he was directing that had like
this is
not True Blood,
Blood Work.
Blood Work. I feel like
yeah.
East. All right, let's tell them the synopsis of this movie.
A U.S. secret agent. This is ALPHAVILLE, and it's got a great poster. A U.S. secret agent is sent to the distant space city of ALPHAVILLE, where he must find a missing person and free the city from its tyrannical ruler. Well, that doesn't tell you that the tyrannical ruler is, in fact, a computer that runs the entire city, and it is very Big Brother, very 1984, very Brave New World, very all of that.
Yeah, they've outlawed emotion.
Can't feel, can't love, can't cry.
You can't ask the words why. You can't ask questions, essentially.
You can't ask why. You can only say because. People, for whatever reason, there are things like where they're like you shake your head to say yes and you nod to say no.
Yeah, there's very dumb things like that in the movie.
Yeah, which I feel like are the sort of the kind of natural. Well, I mean not natural, but they very clear. Progeny again of things in 1984 like doublespeak and words that I mean they literally deal with, like she's at one point he's talking to a woman who has kind of to her knowledge, at least, grown up in Alphaville, and she's like, we get a new dictionary, everyone, and there are words missing all the time because they've been outlawed and they're replaced with other words that mean different things now. I mean, it's very, very much newspeak, doublespeak.
Yeah. They don't even try to I mean, that's what it is.
And I don't think it's I don't think they're being veiled about it. I don't think they're necessarily we invented this.
I read up on the movie after I watched it, and I was like,
the Equilibrium. Yeah.
And I've
not seen it.
It's great.
That's the gun kata thing.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Christian Bale and lots of guns.
But they, a lot of people were saying, because a lot of people hate this movie. I'm in that camp. And then,
you found a lot of people.
Yeah, and then a lot of people were defending it, and they're like, "You don't get it. It's parody." And I'm like, "Okay."
I read that as well,
but that doesn't make it. So I even thought about it for like a good solid 30 seconds. I was like, that doesn't make it better for me.
Well, but the thing is, because the thing with a good, you can't, and I didn't hate the movie, but just in general in a vacuum, you can't necessarily excuse something, or you can't excuse it on by calling it parody alone. And that doesn't really change. Like, a parody has to, at some point, let you know that it's parody.
Yeah.
And a parody has to, or a satire, kind of, less so a satire, parody more because it's comedic and it's whatever. Like, if something has its tongue placed in its cheek, then there is a certain amount of, I would say, narrative responsibility to let the audience at least
in on that.
Yeah, aware on some level. Now that doesn't mean everyone has to get it. You can make it kind of an inaccessible thing, but it's got to be there. I
felt like this was too earnest in what it was trying to do, and I was just like, that doesn't play for me, or at least enough to where it made me. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty perceptive person in terms of like films and stuff, and I didn't get that from the get-go.
It didn't feel like a comedy to me. There are a couple moments.
There are comedic moments in it.
Yeah,
certainly. I mean, when he goes, the movie starts out with him arriving in the city, and he's led up to the room by like an AI sex robot girl.
A level 3 seductress.
A level 3 seductress, and they go into the hotel room, and she immediately starts to undress, and she's like, "I'll draw you a bath," and blah blah blah. And then out of nowhere, like a guy bursts into the room, and he starts firing. Can we just talk about this?
That was weird.
A guy bursts into the room.
Feel like he burst in the room. I feel like he was just like in the room.
He was like in the bathroom, and he just kind of appears.
He yells something about his sister or something.
And then the guy, our main character in the trench coat, just pulls out a gun and starts firing at this dude, and then the dude just runs out.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to keep firing his gun at like a magazine that she has the sex robot hold up, and then he fires it at his lighter. And I was like, what? And this was like, I think it was right after that I was just like, I texted you and I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, there's some weird things.
It was weird.
There are definitely some weird things. And I don't know that I don't know, like it didn't. Do you think they are robots? Do you think they're products? Do you think they're machines? Yes. You really think so?
No.
I
think that's absolutely what it was.
I definitely think that they were.
Did you see something to make you think otherwise? I'm not gonna like.
No. I mean, they had numbers on them.
Yeah.
And they were acting, but to my, and they were kind of brainwashy and kind of like whatever. But the girl's not. Like, she's got numbers and she's not a robot. She unless her father built a robot. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought she was a robot.
Well, I mean,
she is a robot. But the whole point, I felt like at the end of the movie was that the reason figured out what love was or something, and that's why the movie ends with her saying "I love you," and she like, I don't know.
So to me, like, it was. I wasn't sure if it was.
If they're not robots, what are they?
I think they were just like, everyone is kind of sort of brainwashed into this thing, except for the dudes who are running around like running.
Right.
And we didn't really talk to many people besides the people who were like running it and the robots.
But at the end but at the end of the movie, when I mean, we're just gonna kind of jump all over, but at the end of the movie, the way he brings down the AI computer, the super HAL-like computer that has a really annoying like voice. is he posits he asks a question, a riddle that he can't answer, and it sends him into a flurry, and he starts to break down.
I mean, that, like...
And then everybody starts... all the people in the city start flipping out and, like, grabbing the walls and walking all weird.
That was very weird.
And it looks really dumb.
It does,
unfortunately. That is true. And it was... Yeah.
We're talking about
debate.
ALPHAVILLE.
Yeah.
In 1960. So just to give a little bit more. So is the film noir, and... And he basically looks like here. So this is the main female character, and that's him. He doesn't have a mustache that looks like that. It's he looks exactly. Honestly, I have a filmmaker friend who looks exactly like him, like exactly. And he's an American actor who like was an expatriate. He went to and kind of became sort of a star in France for playing. Literally, this character, like this
like
same
the name, yeah. Let me caution.
Yeah, let me caution. Yeah. In these like hard-boiled kind of detective film noir things, and so Godard, I don't know exactly why, took this actor, made him the same character, and then put him into this sort of sci-fi setting, where he comes to ALPHAVILLE, which is a city that's under control by this, under the control of this AI, this
AI supercomputer
that makes logical decisions, and they don't have like any sort of government, they don't have any sort of whatever. They don't even really make decisions. The computer comes to logical conclusions, and everyone carries them out.
Yeah.
And the logical conclusions are things like there is no. You are not allowed to show emotion. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to laugh. You're not allowed to whatever. They take those people. They take people like artists and people who want to create poetry or art, and they shoot them and throw them in a swimming pool in a very strange synchronized swimming.
They have women jump into the pool after they've been shot on the diving board. The people fall into the pool, and then women.
Hey, Dirk, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Dirk? And then these beautiful women jump into the pool to gather the dead body, but I think they also had knives and they were stabbing the person.
It's very strange.
It's very weird.
Very strange. And so he is kind of walking around, he's this very kind of laconic, he doesn't say a lot, very kind of tough guy dude, and he doesn't fit in this world, except that everyone is dressed exactly the same as he is. But he's like this.
He's from the outer country.
The outer countries, right?
But he's from New York.
Which is confusing because like after a while you go like, oh, we are in space. We've traveled across the galaxy, and it is interesting. And they're
on another planet.
They're on another, essentially. And there's New York and there are other whatever, and you're kind of like, I don't know exactly where we are because it looks like Paris, because it is Paris.
And he's driving a Ford Mustang that they call a Ford Galaxy, but he's still driving a Ford. On this planet,
and purposely so, I think. And it's but what's interesting is like we talked about that like the sort of like lo-fi sci-fi, sci-fi where it's like it doesn't necessarily feel like it's sci-fi,
which is my favorite kind of sci-fi.
I agree.
I love it,
and I agree, and I think I love that kind of sci-fi as well, and there's very cool things about it. But there are certain things where you go like, he drove across the galaxy, and then when they leave, they're leaving in a car on a highway, and I'm like,
where are you going?
And I literally don't get. That doesn't seem like, well, maybe, I don't know. Like, there is kind of this thing where it's just like, it's postmodern. And you're like, but like, you're just shooting him on a highway. I don't know about that.
And this is the thing.
That I don't know about.
We even kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday, like after the Spider-Man movie. I really don't like postmodern art. Like when I go to like a museum and stuff, and I see someone who
he's the guy that gets because he's yelling, "What's this? I could make this." No,
I am. I'm the guy because like I'll go and I'll see someone who took a bucket and then put a pebble in the bucket and then put the bucket against a wall, and they're like, "What do you think of that?"
Yeah,
and I'm like, "I don't know," because that's a bucket.
No, we went to the art museum, which I love the art museum.
I love the art. I love going to museums.
Yeah. And we're both very cultured people.
Well,
we're super cultured. Yeah,
Byron.
We're just saying. Just want to get that in. we went to the museum not long ago, and there literally was like a white canvas, and it had like a bit of like kind of gold trim.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 2 of them or 1 or 2 of them. And then like it was like, this is a white canvas, but it's like slightly off-white, and you can't really tell that until you look at the edge, which has little gold, and it kind of changes the way you see the white a little bit, and it's about perspective. And that's the artistic thing. And I go, there are things like that where I go, okay, I can like appreciate that. I can appreciate that you took something and painted it white and said that about it. But what you are is an essayist. Like what you are, the art is the writing and the interpretation. Yep. Like, I don't know if you're a painter. You know, like,
that's exactly right. Because if I have to look at the description next to the piece of art to understand what it is, you are failing to what I consider to be the very essence of art, which is communicating something. Yeah. Now, an idea, a feeling, whatever you want. Yeah. But you are communicating something to me just by sheer presence of what you have created.
Sure, and I agree. Now, there are pieces of abstract art where I go, and it is splotches or whatever, but it's arranged in such a way where you go, I get a feeling of that. There is a sensation there.
Yes.
Or that is communicating something. Or aesthetically, that just looks incredibly pleasing, and I can...
And I also feel like there has to be art like that makes me scoff the way Jeff scoffs at this movie.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like, no, we're not, Sandor. I mean, I'm not.
I am. I do not like him.
It's all right. It's okay.
And it's fine. And I understand.
Him okay.
He's a polarizing filmmaker. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. I understand that there's a large swath of people who really swear by him. I understand that. But he and if I met him, I'd be like, look, man, we don't jive. I don't get what you're doing here. Your movies frustrate the hell out of me. Because I just, and this goes into what I'm saying about modern art or postmodern art, where when I'm looking at something, I feel like I need to be seeing something where I'm like, there's a level of talent or craftsmanship here.
Yeah, or just, yeah.
In addition to communicating an idea or something.
Sure.
And I think that, and like when I look at Godard or read articles or interviews with him and stuff, which I was doing last night, I feel like he prided himself on his outside the box thinking and his rebellious attitude, and he would scoff at people like Billy Wilder, who is a phenomenal filmmaker, but he would be like, that's a Hollywood elite type dude, and I'm not even interested in doing that.
Yeah.
And then Wilder would come back and be like, you're a lazy bum, you don't even know how to tell a story, which is kind of where I'm falling into.
Sure. And Melville versus
me. And so I'm a huge I'm a massive Jean-Pierre Melville fan. Like I'm a massive Melville dude.
You French bum. Yeah.
And what's interesting is those two, Melville and Godard, were friends, and I think Melville even informed Godard on how to edit Breathless for the first time, and that's where he got his jump cut aesthetic and whatnot. That doesn't, really? But I'm a massive Melville guy, and we've talked about doing Le Cercle Rouge and Le Samurai. And a couple other of his movies.
And I'm like, look, this is another reason that I was like, this is a poor choice to start with, because I was really fascinated by it, and I really wanted to dig into some French New Wave. But I'm woefully underseen on the French New Wave.
And frankly,
stuff.
I mean, so am I. Like I'm more of like, I'm hardcore into Melville, but I'm kind of uncultured in a lot of other stuff.
So I've just a little bit of Truffaut, and
I've seen some Truffaut. I've seen some who did Rafifi. Which is a great heist movie that we should consider.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm all about Rafifi.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one that we were. Yeah, that we.
Who did Rafifi? Can you remember? Super well known guy.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But anyways.
But it's a Godard loved Ford, Nicholas Ray, Fritz Lang, all of them. So okay, maybe you just didn't like Wilder.
Oh, okay.
That movie was just called Blue for like 3 hours. I'm pretty sure it's just called Blue, but I don't remember the director. I'm not sure. Oh, Dasson?
There's a Three Colors trilogy.
Yeah,
Which is amazing, and it's by a guy I can't even pronounce his name. I've got him. It's Krzysztofi.
Yeah. Oh, Kieslowski. It's
Kieslowski.
Yeah.
Those are really good movies.
Yeah.
There's a red, blue, and white.
Yes. And well, anyway. So look again. I didn't hate it. I don't know that I didn't love it. I'm just like here, you know. I'm in the middle on it. I get people really liking it. I get people really not liking it. It goes, yeah. There are some arresting images. There's some beautiful imagery. There are. I think, that does not a film make necessarily.
And I think that's what it was. Is like I was like, there's a really good idea here and a really cool aesthetic that could be explored more. But I felt like it got bogged down by like it just had no interest in. I'm not even saying they failed at building a narrative. I don't think there was an interest in making a normal narrative.
No.
Or telling a story in any type of. I felt like he was actively trying to be like, look how different I am, and it's like, yeah, you think this is amateurish? This is outside the box.
Sure.
This is guerrilla filmmaking. I'm like, I've seen guerrilla filmmaking from the '60s, and it's way better than what you're doing.
Sure,
here.
and I mean, to place it in time, I mean, this is maybe what 3 years before Bonnie and Clyde,
and I think
no, yeah.
Is Bonnie and Clyde '68?
Maybe it's '67.
Maybe 2 years. It's 3 years before 2001.
It is 3 years before 2001. 4 before Easy Rider. This is this is.
What's up, Jacob Hool?
When we were talking, hey man, when we were talking about the French New Wave influencing the New Hollywood and being kind of the sort of progenitor in a lot of ways of some of the elements and sort of concepts and ideas that filtered into the New Hollywood. I mean, this is French New Wave, right? This is what we're talking about. I've not seen any Cassavetes, and I can't wait.
I like Cassavetes.
Yeah, I mean,
I really do.
And he's making stuff around this time too. I mean, I
love Cassavetes.
Yeah, and he's
like a lot, and even the stuff that I'm like, this is so. He did the outside the box thing, but he was all about emotion and character, and even if there wasn't like a normal plot, as it were, he was still made you invested in the character so much in the emotional aspect of it that it trumped everything else.
I mean,
I love him.
He's like the godfather of indie filmmaking.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
truly
the guy. Yeah, he's and so and again, he is doing that at this time. So you look at something like this, and there is a tendency, or maybe a temptation to be like, oh, it's just dated, but it's like, no, man, like if he was alive, he would be doing similar stuff.
Yeah.
Because
is he dead?
I don't know. If he was still making stuff, I guess. Is he still alive?
I think I assumed he was dead, and I think I looked him up, and I was like, I don't see a death date.
I think the one from
he's still alive.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think the one from that French. Well, let's see.
He's 88.
He's Rivette from the French New Wave that deals better with both feelings and emotions. Also, radical experimentation is Rivette. Interesting. Warhol was a giant pain. Yeah. That makes sense. Warhol, yeah. I kind of actually, Jacob, I don't know. I kind of sensed that for some reason. Yeah. Welcome back, man. But there are some things. There are some things that are interesting about this movie. Like and there is that. Like I didn't. I know you didn't like the voiceover of the computer. Mm-hmm. I did. I found it evocative. I found it kind of like unnerving. I mean, it's literally a dude with a.
I know.
Yeah. So like
the guys who, when you smoke too much, and then you got to rip out your vocal or whatever.
So if you watch the trailer, I think it's in there. There's kind of an ever-present, omnipresent, omniscient sort of narrator that is this AI, and it speaks throughout the entire film, and kind of like it's a weird thing because it's like, is it a narrator? Is it something that the guy can hear? Is it something that the people can hear? Sometimes it is like they're walking by doors and he's like, this is open. It's like open.
It is. I think it's supposed to be within the world.
Yeah. It's very because like they pick up the phone and they ask something and like he answers, but it's this kind of. I don't know,
it's confusing because it doesn't sound like that.
But I mean, it's like this very but he has like a tracheotomy sort of kind of like a robotic voice box. Which is interesting because it's like, I mean, like how much more indie can you get? Like you need a robot voice and you just get a guy who's got a tracheotomy. But to me it's weird and effective, and it's so ever present that it is kind of this sort of ominous thing that like this voice can talk to you, the audience, and them, the characters, at any time. It to me it did have an interesting effect, and it was something that in the early going grabbed my interest when maybe there wasn't so much stuff going on. Yeah, and it's a stylistic thing. And
what if Gilbert Gottfried was the was the computer? What would that sound like?
Oh, I think it would probably sound a little something like this.
Why don't you give me?
Let me. Come on. Oh, please, come on. Let me. Come on. No, look at this. Look at this. I'm so ticked off that I'm glitching out. Here, Jafar. Kersplat.
What?
Open the pod bay doors.
I'm sorry, Dave. You're just gonna the Aristocats.
The Aristocats? Yeah, I don't know.
Mama cat is screwing my dad cat, and it's there's crap everywhere. The Aristocats.
That's the reaction I had to the voice that was in ALPHAVILLE, because I was just like, and I think a lot of it had to do with the absolute philosophical horseshit that he was spewing out of his robot mouth hole for 90% of the movie. Well, not all of it. But boy, they cut to a scene where they were showing like slide projections, and it was like a classroom setting, and they were showing, they were talking about time and how time is infinite and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And also, you've spent 10 minutes telling me about this, and it's just... It's not as interesting as you are trying to make it seem, or profound.
Sure, and so the thing,
and it's not a thing where maybe at the time it was. I was like, no, because there are other things at this time that are exploring similar ideas, and then in 3 years, 2001 is gonna blow the panties off of everybody, and it's gonna like really get after it.
Be like, where'd my panties go? 2001 plus Kubrick.
It's very much like
MGS. It's really funny as you say that. That's kind of funny.
Oh my god!
It's Metal Gear Solid 2.
Hideo Kojima was just like he saw ALPHAVILLE and he was like, "I'm doing that."
Yeah, that's my jam. That's my jam.
I love Metal Gear.
I feel differently. I
replayed all 5, like everything up to Phantom Pain, starting with Metal Gear Solid 1 on PlayStation 1. And I replayed them all last year, and because Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation was like my favorite game growing up, and I played it over and over and over. And I was like, I'm gonna revisit all of them, and I revisited them, and I shouldn't have done that because that dialogue doesn't hold up.
Man, number 2 made me feel the way you feel about this game.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
I was
for sure
screaming, and I was like, don't make something that is.
Don't you get it? That's the point.
It's like, but because like it's a bad, on purpose. And I go,
the game's bad on purpose.
I go, cool. That's not a worthwhile undertaking. Don't do a thing that sucks and then be like, but it sucks on purpose, bro. And I'm like, well, then you wasted both of our time. Sorry. Well, I went a little crazy. How did you?
But here's the thing: MGS5, I didn't even finish it because I didn't like that they switched it into that format. I was just like, even for all its 45-minute cutscenes or whatever, I was still like, that's what makes Metal Gear to me. And when they went to a different system where story was almost irrelevant, it lost a lot of its appeal.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. It's a weird old thing. And this, I mean, like in some ways, I think Godard's a little bit like that. You know, you gotta like, but that doesn't mean you have to like it. But it's just kind of like, there's a bit of there's some stuff he's gonna do. There's some Godard stuff he's gonna do.
But you like the other stuff enough to where you're gonna be like, I'll put up with this other stuff. Yeah.
Said something about new channel. I'm not gonna make a new channel. New channel? No, I don't think so.
Frat, I did vomit at the end of MGS2, just so you know.
I was out of time because Kojima stories, he's constantly chef kissing himself as he runs. Yeah. Wait, what is chef kissing? This.
Yeah.
Good. I'd never.
I'm gonna start saying that.
Come up with it.
Like this guy's a real chef kisser.
Yeah. First, but to me, it's interesting because it is peppered throughout. Not even peppered, just like there are like moments of people talking to people, there are moments of people walking around. Yeah, I mean, and we follow him. He's interacting with women who are constantly like, "Do you want me to take close up, and he just goes, "Shut up."
Yeah, yeah. He slaps a woman.
Yeah, and I go,
and it's before you put it together that she's a robot, and I'm like, oh, is it gonna be one of these?
See, I don't think they're robots. I think they're.
Okay, so but then what, I'm not arguing with you.
No,
What are they?
I think they're brainwashed women.
But then why do they go ape shit at the end?
But so does everyone.
I know. Oh.
I think that they're just under such control that that's a thing. I don't know. I also wondered if they were robots, but I don't think they are. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much, Comfy Eddie, for those 10 months of unbelievable support. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Lots and lots and lots of love.
10 months. Let's make it another 10. Love what you do.
Oh, thank
Keep
you,
it
dude.
up.
Thank you so much. I love doing this as well, and thank you for being here for it, and thank you for your support, Comfy Eddie. Lots and lots of love. Yeah. I don't know.
Here's the thing. If they're not robots, I hate this movie that much more. Because that means that they're walking around like fucking idiots. Yeah. Because at the end of the movie, he breaks the computer with a riddle.
Yeah.
And then everyone, once he leaves that, like, the room with the computer in, and he's like goes to find the girl, he's like going through all these hallways, and everybody's like grasping to the side of the walls and walking around.
Yeah,
it's really dumb.
It unfortunately is. It's like he's taking her, and she's like, you know, freaking out or like losing it, or like if she were a robot, short circuiting. But unfortunately, it's like in a wide shot, and she's like,
yeah,
and it just unfortunately just doesn't cinematically seem, but I don't know. It's the kind of thing where I'm like, well, if there is a parody here that I'm not understanding. I mean, if that's on purpose, that makes sense. And that one, because it's a
that would make sense in a parody, yeah.
Yeah, and that shot turns into like a nice shot. It like it falls down the hallway and then gets really good. It's a really good shot. But it just sucks that she's going, and you're just like, man, that's too bad.
And that's why, like, when I read that it was a parody, I was like, I can kind of understand that. At one point, the character, the main detective guy, he's walking out of a building, he's like, the girl asks him a question, he's like, ALPHAVILLE? More like Zeroville.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a, gosh, what is there a line, there's a like, great, terrible line where he goes, gosh, was he talking to the computer? He's talking to somebody, and he goes, yeah, I fear death, but it's part of my everyday, kind of like whiskey. And I've been drinking all my life.
Yeah!
And I was like, oh man, that was like, I had to go over here and over here, and it like paid off, but like, wow. That was like, then we need to send that one back through the writer's room a couple times. But I don't know, is that purposely bad? Because is it playing with the conventions of film noir? I mean, a lot of articles say yes.
Stupid on accident, stupid on purpose, still stupid. It's like what, like Larry David was talking about fart jokes one time, and he was like, a fart joke only works if the person who's making the joke realizes how juvenile a fart joke truly is.
Sure.
But if a person is like thinking that just farts are funny, it's not gonna play.
Yeah.
And he was like, and that's kind of how I view comedy. Like, and it was just like that kind of breakdown of how he approaches things to make, because they were like, how did you? I think he must have had that in one of his seasons of Curb.
Sure.
He was like, how did you make that funny since you're such a witty, neurotic dude? And he's like, and then he said that,
and that makes sense. And I think that is what is missing from it for me as a parody. The sense that, like, I watched this and again, it didn't occur to me at all that it would be that there's any real sense of humor in it, except for like one or two points where I'm like, okay, that's funny, or what, it's something. Like, you know, the guy puts his hand out and then he just swats it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but like that also kind of falls in line with like he's just that cool sort of thing.
Yeah,
and
because like if you're gonna do it, like even if you play it totally straight, you gotta play up all the conventions.
Yeah.
But this was veering off into
they're not
philosophical.
Exaggerating. They're not exaggerating it enough, or they're not exaggerating to the point that I believe he's exaggerating it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
I mean, it's. I just didn't see a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Much of one, and that's what I feel like. Skip Shun, thank you, Siri Epic. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for those 18 months. 18 months. 18 months. Something. 18 months. Kanye, I can't. I just can't. Thank you so much. That year and a half, my friend. Lots and lots and lots of love, dude. But yeah, there
2 babies.
So it's
he just went to a club, man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what that wristband's for.
Did go to the this is left over from what we had to take my daughter into the hospital on Christmas. Did I tell you this?
No.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. She was dehydrated and she got something called rotavirus, and she was kind of vomiting and had diarrhea, and she got dehydrated, and she really kind of wasn't herself and freaked me out. We had to take her to the hospital, and
on Christmas.
On Christmas, yeah.
Oh,
So we spent Christmas and the day after in a hospital.
Oh no!
But all that being said, like, this is sound weird. If you have to spend your Christmas in a children's emergency ward, this is the one you want to spend it in.
Really?
They were amazing. They were you're from the area, like Cook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we went in.
I think I was born there.
Really?
I think so.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We because we had her there, and then they were like, well, we're going to keep her a little longer, but we're not necessarily. We're going to put you in the observation area, which is like a place where it's like you're not an inpatient yet, but like later, more than one day.
Yeah.
And we went up, and it's Christmas, and like the thing is, like we were sitting there with her, and she's like out of it, and it's kind of like I'm not a warrior.
Yeah.
And especially when anything like that, and then but from the room next door, I mean, it's Christmas, and we're there, and we tried to go to Cook has like a clinic, an emergency clinic that's like down the block, and we went and tried to get in, and like I've never seen a fuller waiting room, and I was like, oh, it's so sad, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, there's like only a few places that are open.
Yeah.
And we were like, can we, whatever, and he was like, they're like, we can see you, it was like 11:40, and they're like, we can see you at 3:05 or something, and I was like, oh, we're just gonna go to the emergency room. We went there, and we were sitting there and then like from the room next door, we heard like a baby crying, and then later we heard them like singing happy birthday to that baby, and I was like, it's the baby's birthday, and it's Christmas, and they're sick, and there's whatever, and like, and also we're like, she's sick, and I'm like, I didn't want to like, you don't want to be in the hospital, but also like you're scared of stuff that's in the hospital, like that. They moved us to the observation ward, and we went through, and like it's just walked in, got into the elevator. And there's like an atrium, and it's made to look like a gigantic castle. It's just beautiful. It brought me to tears a couple times because they put so much time and effort into. I mean, they had beautiful Christmas decorations. Later, when I went out to go get food, they were like, yeah, check out the Christmas lights outside. The guy was like, they must have spent like $100,000, $200,000 on Christmas lights, and I was like, sweet, this bill's gonna suck. But like,
yeah, right.
but it's just, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, they and then like on every level they had more Christmas. And we got out, and there was like a Yoda and an R2-D2. Just they had thought of everything. People were like, by and large, just incredibly exceedingly kind. They had every movie. They had room
so really
service.
You had one of those like real Christmas moment type things where it's just like you're having a low point. It's like what you'd see in any like sitcom from the 90s where it's just like the Christmas episode is like, nothing's going right.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like ultimately we said that many times. We were like, it really was, because the three of us were together. The only thing was that she just kind of was like out of it, and we had to kind of watch her, and I was worried the whole time. But like, yeah, it's like I was with who I wanted to be with, and people were very kind.
I just saw her downstairs. She's
wonderful.
Okay.
She's wonderful. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. Shout out to that hospital. Absolutely. I've been meaning to. I feel really bad. I need to put like a social media post or whatever or something. Not like that's going to do anything, but I just feel like I need to put that out and be like,
put it out into the universe.
Because I mean, just thank God, like it was rough, but like we left, and after those 2 days in the hospital, another day, like that next day after that, we she was pretty much back to normal, pretty much, and it was just such a relief to have her back. And it was just great. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better. And then we had a late Christmas, and it was nice.
Cool.
So yeah. So that's what this is, and I kind of was like, I'm gonna keep it on until she's better, and then I just didn't take it off. So anyway.
Well, it's very stylish.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Back to the movie. So but like, yeah. So another thing in this movie is like we've got that element of the narration, this kind of like omnipotent, omnipresent narration from this AI who is a character in the game. I mean, in the movie, who runs everything. They also have these kind of interludes where it's like some of the things that he is saying are these very poetic statements that I actually like. You very easily I could have just been like,
that's
and I understand that. I totally understand that, but I kind of have I have like a survival instinct that kicks in where I go like, oh yeah, this is what this movie is. I'm gonna like try to accept it on its own terms because it's not gonna be anything else. So, and I gotta watch another hour and a half.
I started pacing around my couch in circles just to give me something to do because I couldn't sit there and watch these people spout off this schlocky, like,
but the thing,
like high-minded, pretentious dialogue that thought it was so profound. Like,
I mean, it was poetry. It's Borges and stuff, and like,
I understand that,
and it's beautiful. I'm not saying that it has a place.
It also felt completely at odds with what they were trying to do because it's like you're having this massive AI computer say all this poetic poetry, and then poetry is outlawed, and what brings them down at the end of the movie is poetry. I was like, what are you doing here? That doesn't make sense in this world that you're trying to establish.
And it
was frustrating.
That is 150% my gripe with it as well. That I didn't mind what it did, because really what it is, as I was watching this, I was like, oh yeah, sorry, what was that? Is Dick Tracy, is he dead? And then he says, what about Flash Gordon? Do you remember that part? I was so checked out at that moment, and then that brought me back in, and I was like, what is happening in this movie? What world are we living in? Because it was so out of... I didn't understand where that come from, and they don't return to it. Yeah. Like, I don't even think he answers that question. What is the context? They skip off the pond. It's like a rock off the pond. Yeah. I mean, I think that, those are some of the influences and things that touchstones for Godard.
But it's literally a character asking another character about Dick Tracy.
Right.
And then Flash Gordon. Bless you.
Thank you very much. Excuse me. Seemed like a non sequitur. It is. There are a number of things. There are things that just kind of... yeah. But that is the thing for me. Like, that is the main sort of, like, kind of narrative. I don't know. I think that part of it is. I think that part of it is broken. Unless they're just kind of like, look, we just want to have these things in here, and we're just going to like have you suspend some more disbelief, and like, I don't know. Maybe they're passing off. Maybe those specific poetic things were more. I don't know. Maybe they're. No, not really. Because they're talking about the nature of time. Maybe it is more science-based. Maybe it's more logic. But it's not. I mean, it's literally the same writers that. I mean, he's just quoting Borges, and at the end he like has this whole thing that literally is like a lifted Borges quote.
I know.
And instead of Borges, he says his name. He's like, what a shame that life is, or the world is real, and I am Alpha 60 as opposed to.
And that was the other thing. It wasn't even like it's just Godard using other poets and using their ideas and dropping them in, and then not even being consistent about like what he's like anything that he was bringing to the table himself as an artist. I was like, is hot garbage to me.
Besides, I mean, the imagery, I think, was
because he was stealing the plot from 1984 and other and dystopian futures, and then he was taking the poetry from other better people, poets and whatnot, and he was trying to throw it all into a cauldron and like Tarantino the thing, but he didn't have any of the skill that Tarantino has to make something new out of all this other shit that he's directly pulling from.
I mean, I think visually, stylistically, he added stuff.
No, you don't think so? Even on a visual level, I was like, because again, I started reading reviews and they're like, it's a visually stunning film. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's not. There are moments. I think there are moments. I think there is some there's some stuff that like, but it does like there in the way that
I can't think of one shot that stuck out to me as like that's even an interesting composition. It's all handheld, like and they're like, but it was a long one take, and I'm like. Yeah, but not an impressive one. No, not necessarily. You just let the camera on for 4 minutes and follow the guy down the hallway.
There's a shot where he is. This is not necessarily, but one thing is like there's a shot where he's walking and they show they show it in reflection on the ceiling, and then they kind of whip down and show him which is a scene, you know, a shot that like shows up in movies all the time these days. Like there's, you know, it's in Fight Club, it's in and then there's just like, gosh darn it, I can't even remember. There's a very specific one. I can't remember if it's Fincher, but I just have that, you know, the clop 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 plop 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 plop. You know, and this is got to be one of the, well, maybe it doesn't have to be, but it's one of the earliest examples I've ever seen of something like it. It's nowhere near as elegant. It's like a reflection, 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 and then just kind of like a shaky pan down.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and I go, okay, that's an interesting idea, but that's not, there are moments where, really, the moments where I was like, oh, this is kind of nice, is stuff where he's kind of opening her up to poetry, and it has these like very kind of like very stylized, very kind of like portrait shots of him and her, and the lighting is much more harsh, and it's like very black and very dark.
See, that's surprising to me that you liked that, considering how you, because that even was distracting. I was like, "Where's
it is distracting?
Where is this lighting coming from?"
I'm not saying, yeah, no.
It is. He'll go off on,
not that,
like on what movie was it specifically? Like when they cut, you know, in old movies when like it's two characters in like a two shot and you see them together and then they cut to the close up and it's clearly like they like glamour lighting like the woman's face and it's like a spotlight.
And they do it with Batman Returns.
Yeah, he always points it out and he's like, "Where's that light coming from?"
It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah,
there are moments where in a movie where I'm not otherwise engaged,
right,
and it doesn't look good, I'll be like, screw that.
Yeah, but in this one, everything sucks so bad they're like par for the course.
Well, no, I mean, like,
whatever.
It didn't stick out because there are other things where it's like it's just breaking the narrative all over the place. It's like I'm not concerned about it.
And
there's
then,
some stylistic stuff, but it looked to me, it looked nice.
They're breaking the narrative constantly in every single facet, from like audio to editing to visual composition.
Yeah,
and then
Vaseline
in interviews and stuff, he's like, definitely. Yeah, but that's the point. I'm like, no, it's not. It's sloppy filmmaking because there's no consistency to you breaking the rules. There's no rules to you breaking the rules. You're just doing shit for the sake of it because you don't know how to make a fucking movie.
So here's a thing.
I love that I'm ripping on Jean-Luc Godard.
I do too. I'm glad. I also don't. It's not my particular cup of
tea.
Yeah. Like it's not exactly on my wavelength. There are definitely things that I appreciate about it, or that I can appreciate it. I can go with a little effort. I can go. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like into it, but I'm like, yeah, this is fine, cool. Thanks for that. I appreciate the effort. This is not gonna go on my pile of favorites, but I'm fine with it. In some ways it reminds me of Malick, like
certainly,
except that like
untethered Malick is the worst.
See, and I don't, and we
disagree on this too.
But
I'm a big Malick fan when he has some semblance of a structure for his storytelling. Yeah. But when you let him loose, and I feel like, in my opinion, everything post Tree of Life has been him completely off the rails, and his work has suffered because of it. So
for instance, Nine of Cups, is there something? The one. Yeah, I know that is the one. But for me, there is and for me with Malick, there's a thing that in his work, even his sort of more untethered work, that the cumulative effect of is something that more closely approximates a certain thing about life, a certain almost like ineffable thing about life that no other director really nails.
Certainly.
And even in something like Knight of Cups, where it just seems like so random, but then at the same time things kind of come back in, and then it almost like he's almost like there is more craft to this, but it's almost like you're creating the story with him. He's just kind of going like, and here, and then your experience is what it is, and whatever. But I very much believe that he is directing the experience and kind of going.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that I am impressed with because it is poetic. It's something that I do not know instinctively how to do necessarily. Mm-hmm. I think it operates almost on a subconscious level. Yeah. So that's where I go Malick, even though like kind of out there stuff, and I haven't seen all of it, but like something like Knight of Cups, it was very, very.
And there's
divisive.
there's a real argument to be made about you know, I'll use Untethered Malik, Knight of Cups in particular, as a reference. There's something to be said about a movie like that because I never forgot it.
Yeah.
And I still think about the imagery in it.
Yeah, and
to this day.
And that's the other thing is the imagery is like, you can say a lot about Malik, but like the imagery is beautiful.
Oh, it's all.
And it is,
I mean,
it is visual.
It's next level.
It is cinematic poetry, like literally.
Yeah.
All like Malik is poetry. Now,
I think with Knight of Cups in particular, it was rough for me because it was about Hollywood and the vapidness of Hollywood, and I was like, oh. And then you're trying to apply this poetic thing to the vapidness of Hollywood, and I'm like, yeah, and therefore there's no meat on that bone. There's nothing to explore there because it's all very. And he's like, yeah, but I'm trying. And it's like that thing where
it's the character. It's the character.
It is the character, sure. But it's like, what did you say earlier? Where it's just like, it's still. But that's still that doesn't make it a good movie.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I know we disagree on that.
Yeah, we do. But that's fine. But the reason I bring it up is that I again,
what's up, Socrates?
I get why people don't like. Hey, Soy. I get why people don't like Knight of Cups. I do like Knight of Cups, but Knight of Cups.
I like Knight of Cups more than.
And that's what I'm saying is like
I see the merit of it.
Untethered kind of way out there, Malik. I'm on board with. I can get on board with this, and I kind of was like, I'm okay, but it does. I don't connect with it nearly as much as I do with Malik.
I think the frustrating thing is that with a movie like ALPHAVILLE, when I went and researched it before and then afterward, I was shocked at the prestige it holds to this day. Because I guess they did a 4K re-release or something like in 2014, and so there was a bunch of reviews from all the major news, like all the major reviewers in 2014, and it's got like a 92% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's just hell, and it won the Golden Bear at like Venice or Berlin Film Festival, and so like it is considered like a real high art piece, and all I could think when I was watching, I was like, if I didn't know that this was Godard, I would think this is a flat out terrible movie, like just a bad movie.
Sure.
With someone who is, and I always come back to that.
Sure.
That when I'm watching a movie, and I'm like, if this wasn't Malik, would you give it the same level? Would you be as sympathetic to it? Yeah. And if you can't say that, then is it working? Or is it just being a postmodern type thing where it's just like what is this?
Where it's obtuse and kind of hard to break into. His late 70s work is weird. Yeah. Film Socialisme, Weekend, Masculin, Féminin, and two or three choses, deux, trois choses que je sais d'elle. 2 or 3 things I know about her are your favorites. And I've seen this. I don't even know if I've seen. Jules Legime is Truffaut, right?
I don't know.
Jules Legime, or is that?
I'm just not.
Yeah, I think Jules.
And I'm not even gonna try to act like I am.
I'm not.
I'm not that. Because I've never seen anything aside from Melville. But I almost hold Melville outside of the French New Wave because he was doing more pot boiler. Yeah, I mean, amazing minimalist filmmaking.
I'm assuming it's. I haven't seen it.
It's stunning stuff.
And I feel like that at its heart, like the muscularity of it, the mechanics of it, like work very.
He's like Michael Mann. Like he was all about the process and the professionalism of him. And he's like, this guy is so good at his job. Let's show the process of his job.
And what I'm saying is like I appreciate. About the souffle. Yeah, I thought that was his first. Maybe am I wrong about that?
Yeah. So Soy, here's the thing. I'm just ripping this movie to shreds, and I'm ripping this guy to shreds because I just am not on board.
Yeah. And I am willfully on board. Ish. Yeah. I'm not so, but it's funny because like the more I talk about Malik, I go because Malik's like untetheredness, Malik's sort of seeming dreamlike kind of like, all right, come back to the thing. I mean, like where people would be like, give me some more come back and give me some
Yeah.
stuff. All of that to me is in service of again approximating the dreamlike, seemingly random feeling of life, right?
Yes.
Or elements of life that ultimately culminate in one or two meaningful moments that sort of tie the thing. This is that in a different way, where it's kind of like it is all this postmodern sort of stuff that is interesting, and it's interesting in a different way. I think,
but it's like that essay thing that you said. It's just like it would be more like it doesn't work as a film, as a narrative film. It's just like, but then you could argue it's like, well, that wasn't his point.
Yeah. Well, to me it does. To me it does. It just works as like a different sort of film. I mean,
Later Wolf Rat.
It does.
Yeah, to shreds. Sorry.
Eat food and sleep. All right, lots of love, Wolf Rat. Enjoy food and enjoy sleep. Lots and lots of love, man. Thank you.
But here's the thing.
Here. And thank you. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
And thanks for. Was that you? Sorry. Yeah. Thanks for skipping Portal for us, man. Portal's fantastic. Lots and lots of love. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Have a great one, dude. What were you saying?
But here's the thing. Even with, we were talking about it yesterday, where it's like people like Malick or Wes Anderson and people are, and Godard, where people are like, well, I wish they would mix it up, or I wish they would try something different, or whatever. And I'm like, no, you need people like this.
Yeah.
Even people you disagree with, or even people that you have a visceral, like, guttural reaction where you just don't like their work. You need people like that.
Yeah.
Or else you're just going to get mainstream stuff that causes no reaction out of you whatsoever. I would rather hate something with a passion than walk out with an entire... And I would rather make something that someone hated with a passion than make something where people are like, eh. And also I don't remember any of it.
Absolutely. And
But Duelist is awesome.
I have not seen it.
That was my first one. I saw that during in Austin, the summer film series at Paramount. That was my introduction to him. I saw it on the big screen. Went home, did a deep dive. Then I saw Army of Shadows, and that was the big eye opener for me. Was that movie? And then I've seen everything else.
Gosh, the Paramount film. I love that. Yeah. That's my favorite thing that happens in Austin.
Yeah,
that is.
That
is a festival.
Austin. It's just so cool.
I know.
There's
so much that I don't take advantage of.
I know, me too.
But it's
because there's so much.
I know.
There's so much.
But the Paramount Summer Film Series, the Paramount Summer Classic. Paramount Summer Classic Film Series is like hands down my favorite arts event that has ever happened in any movie, any city that I've ever lived in, and it happens every summer and goes
every
for
summer,
like 4 months,
3-4 months,
It's
yeah, it's
and
stunning.
they put up they curate this really fantastic collection of classic films, and classic films even sometimes, and they mix it up. They throw like Jurassic Park in there and stuff like that, and Alien, and
they end it every year with 70mm week, where they'll show
2001,
Lawrence of Arabia, Vertigo.
They always do Hitchcock. Oh my gosh. There's an update for the Golden Christian Bale, one for Dick Cheney. Gosh, I got to see Vice. Alfonso Cuarón, one for Best Foreign for Roma. Fantastic. Lady Gaga won Best Song for that Star movie, Stars Born. Yeah.
I liked Stars Born. I'm sorry, I did.
Oh, what? Did people not like it? I thought people loved it.
I think it's an easy one to rip on for a lot of people.
Really?
But I really enjoyed it.
I mean, it's just
I thought Bradley Cooper as a first-time director crushed it.
Yeah.
Dude, you should watch it tonight, and then definitely check out Army of Shadows. It's a really fantastic movie. I would say it's the peak of his film career.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you see A Star Is Born?
I did not. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very sadly, but now with Netflix.
It's a real emotional roller coaster.
So, yeah, I'm
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the others?
What else is out?
Oh, no, I mean,
didn't see Vice.
I'm sorry, I meant the other Stars Born.
Oh,
I've
seen parts of that one. I've seen as a child. I saw bits of that one. Yeah. Roma is amazing. I got to see that one in the theater too, and it's a real piece of work. I think it was my favorite movie from last year.
If I was not going to watch this, I was going to watch Roma. So I'll watch Roma very soon.
Yeah.
God willing. I thought Bradley Cooper doing Chris Christopherson impression the whole time. Whistler? Yeah, if you're gonna do an impression of somebody for A Star Is Born, you can do worse. Chris Christopherson, Gosh, he's great.
He is so good.
I mean, he's great.
Hey, remember how good Heaven's Gate was?
Absolutely. That's what I'm thinking of.
I'm just gonna go back to that time.
Yeah, just think about Heaven's Gate.
That was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Because that one was like, oh, this is one of the most critically derided movies of all time. And we watched it and we were like, no, that's a full-blown masterpiece.
Yeah, everyone's wrong.
And then on this one, we were like, oh, this is a very critically acclaimed Jean-Luc Godard movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
Yep. I'd like to see one that doesn't have. Honestly, I'd like to see one that is freed of the. Because what fascinated me about it is that it has this sort of like sci-fi film noir. Because I was like, it's a French New Wave sci-fi film noir film.
I know.
That's crazy, and it's by Godard. That's insane.
I was pumped.
I can't wait to see this. But what I would like to see is one that is like freed of the shackles of that. That's just more. That maybe feels more free to just be, like maybe Breathless or something. Something that feels free to just be like more an expressionist, poetic thing. Because maybe then it wouldn't feel like it's fighting parts of itself, you know what I mean? Or like it's not concerned necessarily with parody. Sharky Boy, thank you for all the Aquaman Tritons. Thank you, sir.
Who here has seen Aquaman? I haven't, but
I haven't either. Can we time? Hey Sharky, hey Sharky. Try to dent less. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Lots of love. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Did you like Aquaman? Pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I've heard that people like it. I mean, I remember watching Justice League and good gravy. That was excuse me. What happened? I think I blacked out. But in Justice League...
Still one of the best times at the theater I've ever had with you.
It was great. Is that the one where...
It was. How could you forget that?
Is that... Okay.
Do you want to tell that story? Because it's an amazing story.
I've come on stream with it. Shadi! What's up?
We saw Justice League together at a press screening.
Thank you.
Because this guy... is a highfalutin movie reviewer.
It used to be.
And
subscription. Thank you for the subscription.
But on this particular night, he where had you come from? He had come from a party where he had to dress up and he was painted head to toe in gold. Skin, his clothes, everything.
You guys might know him as Sheriff Lobrocop. Oh, my sub is now as old as you are. Wasn't that sweet when that happens? Thank you, Shadi! Thank you so much for those 22 months, my friend. Lots and lots and lots of love. Like I see Wonder Woman, maybe Suicide Squad 2. James Gunn is working on it. Other than that, I have no interest in anything. Anything I do, I'll watch on Blu-ray. Sure.
Word.
Yeah, so and my favorite part of that was for Justice League. I was walking around and I was covered. Yeah, I was painted head to toe in a gold. I was a gold cowboy. I had a gold cowboy hat that was spray painted gold cowboy. Everything that like.
And it's a
it was like. Yeah. As I walked, because it was spray painted and my skin.
And it was
gold.
like it was a packed press screening,
and
we showed up late, and so we were like the last ones to walk in, which made it even better because we had to walk in front of like stadium seating, like a full packed house of other critics and stuff, and we just walked to it was so fun.
It was great. And then we came out afterward, and there were other people who were like wearing like they're slightly like in costume, like wearing like Justice League stuff.
Yeah.
And then one guy was like, so why are you dressed like that? And I was like, oh, you're not a real big Batman fan, are you? You don't know a lot about Batman. And he's like, what? And I was like, well, I mean...
And he just walked away.
I'm the Gold Sheriff. Yeah. And he's like, oh, and I just left. I think I was like, no, I'm kidding.
He's just like, oh.
Yeah.
He's still trying to find, like, edition,
Who was that, man?
Yeah.
Did I dream
Volume 1 of
yeah.
It's like gold count. Wow.
I actually scratched that. Maybe see Joker, but that isn't a DC. You can discount that. I'm not giving DC anyway. I mean, come on, man. Don't you want him to be good? No one wants him to be bad.
I want him to be great.
I know.
I want them to just figure it out. I think they need to be doing standalone movies. I think they need to be doing R-rated movies. Give me an R-rated Batman Year One. Yeah. Bring Aronofsky back on board. Let him do it. Let him go nuts.
Do one shot. Let Fincher do one. Let
Fincher do one.
Let Aronofsky do one. Give Danny Boyle something. Because just let Danny Boyle do whatever he wants all the time. I don't want them to be bad, but I'm not going to give them money for zero effort. I want good films.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're still
it's not zero effort. They just don't know what they're doing.
Well,
they're putting a lot of effort in the wrong direction.
It kind of is in the sense that they don't want to do...
Yeah, me too.
They don't want to lay the groundwork.
Yeah. I would say Joaquin. I gotta be honest. Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker is up there with the most exciting casting I've ever heard.
Yeah,
but then like I don't know, like then
it's Todd Phillips
and then
directing.
so then I just kind of go, well, I don't know about that. I mean, War Dogs was fine. War Dogs was a fine movie. I mean,
it was a fine movie, but
fine.
it had no personality in the sense that it wanted to be Scorsese.
Right. Which you know is like that's a whole thing. That's a whole. There are tons and tons of people who make movies. You know, like I, Tonya is like a Scorsese style. Like everything is. Yeah, there's so much. And
I liked I, Tonya.
So did I. That's what I'm saying. Like Scorsese's like he kind of created a genre. Like he made Goodfellas, and people are like, oh, let's do. There are tons and tons of movies. There's a movie with Luke Wilson about the online porn industry that just like I came out of that like the whole time I was like, this is good. It's reminding me a lot of Goodfellas, and it's distracting me because it's making me want to watch Goodfellas. It's fine. I Tonya was
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of a Goodfellas type movie, aside from like really really bad low budget. Like
Blow.
Yeah.
I mean I mean anything like and Blow's fine. Blow's fine. Blow's good. Middlemen, yeah.
I remember Blow because remember when New Line did like really extravagant DVDs?
Yeah, we have that one, the Infinifilm.
Yeah, Infinifilm. Yeah. Oh, I would buy movies I didn't even know about because I was so into the Infinifilm DVD series. I miss those.
I had Final Destination 2 or something.
Yeah.
And then I like took it back.
But Final Destination 2.
Like,
Final Destination 2 has the best. Is that the one with the
log?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
It's an amazing sequence. Like very well. Like, I mean, it's a stunning piece of work.
It is. And I, to be fair, like I think I bought it and kind of had like I was like, oh, I spent too much money on this movie. That, like,
yeah, because they weren't cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know that. Like I don't even know why I bought it. I just kind of was like, oh, interesting. I haven't seen it, and I spent like $10 on it, and then like took it home and watched it, and was like. I shouldn't own this. I'm gonna get money back for it. I think I was young. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
As I've gotten older, though, because I used to have the same mentality, but as I gotten older, I rewatched it because I like watching like late at night.
That's like looking back. It's a
great idea for a series.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You could do a lot worse, and
totally.
And genuinely, that first opening 20 minutes is like next level filmmaking, and then it turns into the normal thing. But
yeah, I wonder what it. And I think that was kind of. I mean, it's a great thing when you can establish a series that has like. I mean, it's rare where you go like, oh, every Final Destination movie has a thing. Like it has a this. Like there are movies like that where it's like like there's Star Wars. You know, certain beats or certain things are going to happen. Final Destination has that great opening. They always have something that's like this Rube Goldberg crazy thing, and it's great. That's like great.
It's really cool.
Good for them. It's awesome.
Batman's Rogue Gallery has some actual garbage. What do you mean? Because his Rogues Gallery is
the best.
Is the best.
It's not another realm of possibility of Batman's. Wait, what's not another realm of possibility?
Because he has probably the best villains. I can't think of another superhero who's better villains than Batman.
The only one that comes close to me is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have a great Rogues Gallery.
Who? I mean, I'm not. Sorry, I wasn't disagreeing with you. I'm not
That's
nearly
fine.
as.
It's also silly because there's Ninja Turtles, but it's like, it's all comics.
Yeah.
But it's like like Shredder and like
Shredder.
the Rat King and the Leatherhead, who's like a.
Who's Leatherhead?
Leatherhead is a Cajun alligator, and he's like, I guarantee. And so
was he in the cartoon?
It's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna have to. I'm just trying to visually.
You've got Krang. You've got Bebop.
Krang is
Rocksteady.
Krang the brain.
Krang is the brain.
And what was the big guy's name that he lived inside of?
I mean, that was
all Krang.
Robot body.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
You have
Bebop, Rocksteady. Yeah.
Yeah. You have best villains. He has the most villains. Well, I mean, like the thing is, like you think about Spider-Man, and I'm like, I know there's like Kingpin. And I know there's like,
but is Kingpin Spider-Man or is he more Daredevil? I just remember him playing a prominent role in Daredevil.
Is he both?
And being the most interesting. I grew up reading Daredevil. That's the only comic I ever read, and Batman.
Yeah.
But
I know. Yeah.
No. What am I saying? Yeah, he's heavily involved in Spider-Man. Yeah.
Well, and then there's like Mysterio, but I'm like, as a kid, I remember like cool, and then I grew up and I was like, what is that? It's like a fishbowl on his head. That's like.
But he's an illusionist.
Yeah, but like it's.
Yeah, but he's like he works for special effects for movies.
Yeah.
But he's insane.
Yeah.
He's got good villains. I'm not saying they're as good as Batman or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I would put Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery like up there.
Sure, because like I can't name
Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, Mysterio, Scorpion.
I mean, I just know that he's like
Blade. Craven the Hunter.
Yeah. Like I'm just and like it may be. That
I'm reading. I'm Craven's Last Hunt right now. I'm reading that comic book. It's awesome. It's awesome.
But like I don't like Scorpion's just the guy in a scorpion outfit. Is that basically it?
It's like a mechanic. He's a product of Norman Osborn's company, trying to build like a super suit type deal. But I think it like hybrids with his body, and
sure.
And he goes. He's a criminal as well, and he goes insane, and so he turns evil. He's not my favorite character.
No, I just
he's a bit of a brute.
There are things like I'm like
Rhino.
I guess I just like, and he's just a guy with a rhino suit. It's like Scorpion's the guy with a rhino.
I've never understood Rhino.
And then Vulture's the guy with a vulture suit.
Vulture.
And then I like.
But
Black
I remember
Cat's
him
interesting because she's like Catwoman.
Yeah.
But like the thing is like with Batman, I'm
Venom.
like they're like you can go like 5-6 deep and be like they all have very compelling stories.
Oh, absolutely.
And these guys, I'm just like like you thought of a thing that like could be a toy.
They're memorable, but they're not interesting as like I mean, Batman's villains have like tragic character arcs.
Yeah, and that's like definitely Batman is just a guy in a bat suit. And that's what makes Batman great. Not that he's like, oh, he's just a regular dude. The fact that's what makes the thing about Batman that's compelling is the story of Batman. The thing about Two-Face that's compelling is not that he has, he had an explosion and half his face is crazy Tommy Lee Jones and half his face is normal Tommy Lee Jones, which is also crazy. It's the story is compelling. Catwoman she dresses up like a cat. But that's all Black Cat is. I care about Catwoman because I know Catwoman's story. Like, you know, it's just.
The problem with Batman's villains is Joker's. No, that's not true. Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, at least the Mr. Freeze that was created in Batman the Animated Series is like a beautiful, tragic figure. Clayface is an awesome character. Yeah. A lot of these, like, that's why the animated series is so important because they fleshed out those villains so much and gave each one their due, and they gave them real heart. Where even though you knew they were the villains, you cared, and you were like, oh, that hurts to see what happens to Clayface at the end when he's in like he's tormented by his multiple personalities because he's an actor but he's like living. It's just and he just wants to go back to his wife and kids and. To his life before, but there's vanity wrapped up in it, and then with Freeze, and his wife, and I mean they all have interesting ones.
There's like one that just focuses on the gangsters.
Yeah,
like it's just it's like a priest and a gangster, and I was like, man, that's that's incredible. I love that.
Yes, that's that's one of my favorite episodes.
Me too.
Yeah,
what's
that called? Is that the one with the train?
Yeah.
Yes. It's so amazing.
The Mad Hatter's all significantly better than every other. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree. And so that's it. And to credit where credit's due. I mean, we saw Spider-Verse yesterday, and they made. I don't know anything or care anything about Kingpin, but they made him compelling to me because of what he was going through, like what his motivation.
It was the first time I've seen anyone humanize Kingpin.
Yeah,
which was an interesting take on it.
To me, when they I was like, ooh, like that's a big one. I totally get why he's doing what he's doing. I don't want him to just not succeed because that really sucks for him. He's a bad guy, but he's a dude who's like, that sucks. And then they just kind of like wrap it up in the way that they sometimes wrap things up for villains where you're like, that's a compelling oh, okay. Like, and I go like, well, I guess under the circumstances, if he's not going to get better.
Well, they made it, we can't go into it because they.
Oh, that's true. They don't, never mind.
They do it in a way that I was like, that works. I thought it was smart.
But I mean, oh, whatever. Super love Spider-Verse. Yeah. Spider-Verse is very cool. Very, very cool. It was
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, almost got him. It's an amazing. Yeah, Killer Croc. Killer Croc.
Killer Croc. One of my favorite comics, Batman comics ever, is a Killer Croc centric one. It's fantastic. Yeah. I love it. It's freaking great. Yeah. Poison Ivy, even.
Oh, Poison
Ivy's great. And then like even like I'm not a huge
and
Harley
even
Quinn
the
fan,
mob
but like
stuff.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Harley
Like,
Quinn.
I mean, like we're naming each of these people.
Falcone, like all the mob stuff is even really, really interesting in the comic books and things like that, like the Long Halloween and like it's all super rad.
Yeah.
The Calendar Man and
Yeah, even the yeah, right. They did take Calendar Man and make him interesting.
they did, yeah.
Yeah. Killer Croc is kind of a joke and yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like
More so in Almost Got Him specifically, but then you understand why at the end of that episode because there's a twist. But
yeah, but Croc is a great character. I mean, specifically because of there's a Batman comic called Requiem for a Killer that's great. Like I read it as a kid and
he was kind of like they applied like a lot of X-Men themes to him. I felt like because he was particularly in the animated series because they made him. He was like, "You're a freak."
Yeah,
you know, it was like that thing. Yeah,
had an idea for Croc. Yeah, well, there's a great man. You should. I don't know if we talked about that before. Which bigger of a villain he would be?
Oh, Shingo's gonna go for it.
Here it comes.
Here we go.
Here's the pitch.
Sell us on this.
I
don't remember his second episode, but if instead of the mutant leader in The Dark Knight Returns,
that character was Killer Croc.
Dark Knight Returns. Oh, that would actually be super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean the Killer. Yeah, I mean who is that leader? He just is there.
He's
and
just part
gets
of that zombie.
And just has big sharp nipples for no reason. Yeah, you're right. Like that should have been right. I mean, like everyone else kind of.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
And Miller takes everyone else and kind of makes them play different sorts of in those returns. Again, and Strikes Back and stuff. He does weird things with characters, so why not? Big a villain since Bane, since as villain, as big a villain as Bane since Bane is literally inspired by Mutant Reader. Sure. Well, I mean, but Bane, like in and of himself, like is kind of like the, you know, I mean, in like what is it, the Nightfall and all that. He's the guy who kind of like. Masterminds everything. So like,
I preferred the Batman and Robin version of Bane, where he was just a.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, he's supposed to be a hyper intellectual dude.
Yeah. That's kind of, yeah. He's a big strong dude, but like, he's also super brainy.
So
more about this thing.
I don't know what else we could talk about. Should we play a game or something?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look up my.
I didn't like this movie.
It's too bad.
My goal on this one was to come in and trash it because I was like, how are we gonna turn this into a full episode?
Yeah. It was a weird one, but
what are we doing next week? 2001.
2001.
So we'll be back on track next week.
That'll be a good one. But let me real quick. I'm gonna see what some of the things are that because like that's the thing is that like some of the poetry in it I was like that's great. Like I like that. I like thinking about that.
But it wasn't even his poetry.
It isn't. Yeah. But
I wish Soyuz here so I could just. I'm genuinely curious as to hear someone who's a fan of Godard.
Yeah.
Explain their reasoning for it.
Well, someone was. I don't know if they're still here, but someone was doing that. Yeah. Well, it was just strange too to just have him walking around like he's like it's my first night in ALPHAVILLE, but I feel like I've been here forever, and it's like, what is the rest of the world like? Is it just? Because I was like. Because it was interesting, you start this and you kind of go like, oh man, this is what the world is. But it's like, no, this is just ALPHAVILLE. Like New York, it's just a place, it's just New York. Where you get to
it really confused me when they were like, you traveled,
yeah, when they said galaxies, I was like, whoa, really?
It's like, what scares you is like the silence of space. And I'm like, what do you...
Yeah.
You drove a car here.
It sucks because like, you gotta like, drink some iced tea to like stay awake on the road through interstellar space or whatever. Because it's like you drove here in a Ford Galaxy. You drove here in a sedan in a nice little two-door.
Was it a Spaceball thing where you're just driving a car?
Yeah. I was kind of like, goodness,
boy.
That's where I was like, wait, across galaxies? What are you talking about? Like at the end of the galaxy?
Oh, I know what. Okay. And this is why I was like, maybe it is a parody, because if it's not, this was one of the stupidest moments in the movie when I think it's after the pool, and he takes. Oh, he's also taking photos. That was a whole thing, and I was like, that's not paying off in any way, shape, or form. You're taking photos at the oddest times.
They didn't bring it back.
They didn't bring it back in any way. But anyways, at the pool where they're executing people, he leaves and he goes into an elevator, and like 2 like henchmen follow him, and then they literally for like a solid 45 seconds they just throw him back and forth in the frame, and you don't see the 2 guys, and so it's just him getting tossed back and forth in and out of frame, left to right, left to right for like 45 seconds, and I was like, that's when I was like, how is this not supposed to be anything but funny?
Yeah.
Because it was absurd.
It did kind of. It was a little like Looney Tunesy. I mean,
it was very Looney Tunesy.
I mean, like here's like like he's in here. He's in the elevator, and the guys like they come in, and then it's just shot from here, and then you're just not seeing the guys, and so he's like leaving frame and then going boom. And then
it was like he was He was between Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan from Night at the Roxbury. That's what it was.
That's really great. And then like he topples out of the thing. And he's kind of like bloodied, and then she like goes, and they go, "Are you crying?" And she goes, "No, because it's forbidden."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "So is that how that works? Like you just like they go, 'No, I'm not crying,' and they go, 'Cool, we're not gonna kill you.'" Like,
because you are crying.
Yeah, because you're clearly crying. That's why we asked.
Like,
man, and do you remember like there's a point at which like. What is the thing where he like shoots? He finally meets. He goes because another thing he's just supposed to find the creator of this machine, and he goes and sort of talks to him and kind of has this sort of tete-a-tete, which is French, and is like, come with us on my road trip across universes. I gassed up so I can go across universes. I'll be fine. We got some good music. We're just gonna hop in my Dodge Dart and drive across several universes. And the guy's like, yeah, cool. And he goes, no, I don't want to come with you. And he shoots him.
Yeah.
And then just like proceeds to shoot literally everyone he sees.
Yeah.
And he just walks out and goes, blam, blam. And he's like, you might, blam. And it, like, whatever.
He is using that gun very, like, he is real freewheeling with that gun throughout the entire movie. He was shooting his lighter out from, like, within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He was really happy-go-lucky with that gun.
Shooting his pants closed after he... but then he gets in. He goes to his car or something. And someone's trying to stop him, and then he like, it's the weirdest fight scene I've ever seen.
Oh my god! At the end when he's escaping,
he's like, huh? And then it's like close, like insert of like this, and he's like, and then it's like, and then he's like, gotcha. And I was like, this is so.
Intentional, right?
It has to be. And then he like runs over the guy's head, but it's all very like it's like a lot of this movie. Honestly, you're like, oh, cool, he's doing sci-fi without like doing sci-fi. But also, it's like it literally does feel like a kid who's like, I have to do this book report movie for my class, and I have to do Brave New World or Wizard of Oz or something, but I don't have access to these giant things, so I'm just like, what's the closest? Like, well, I had to do a sound project one time, and I like didn't have a bomb exploding, so I put the tape recorder on my mom's car and started the car. It didn't work at all. It sounded like a car, but like it sounded.
You put that in.
Well, yeah, and it just sounds like.
Sounds
like that's kind of what this was like. Is like in some parts. Because like then he's just like, we're driving across the galaxy, and I'm like, well, you don't. What is it anyway?
I remember when I did a short film when I was like 14, and I needed a sound that was just like someone dying and then like their spirit leaving them, and it was like,
yeah.
And so for like a day, I was just in like my dad's computer room, like in front of like just the speaker that could record. Like I didn't have a microphone or anything. I was just going.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Worked like a charm.
Yeah, mine was like I was like, there's a combustion, there's a thing that happens, and that'll work. And I played it back, and it was like, oh no, it's gonna explode! I was like, well, that just sounds like a car starting up. Is Rome overrated? I haven't seen it.
I loved it.
I bet I'll love it.
I loved it.
So basically, they full on anime matrix battle of swords and flying. There are parts of this movie where I don't know what this is, but I got the sense, and it was interesting because right after this, there was something that he. But the way the women were kind of like walking around and being very like and showing them to the rooms and being very like subservient, like down bowing their heads and kind of whatever. It almost reminded me of like geishas or something. It reminded me of like sort of like I was like, oh, this would be interesting as like a Japanese film, like a high-tech Japanese film.
Yeah.
Like you know, like Ghost in the Shell or something like that.
It was
like
I was like, I wish that those characters, those sensual robot things, level 3 sensual robot, were the most consistent thing in the movie that I felt like he was using in a somewhat interesting way.
Like the
Floss bar was really low. Yeah. I was just like, I wish he would have explored that more. I don't know.
And it was. I mean, she essentially. I don't know, because she like is not one, but she essentially is one.
You're saying she's not a robot.
I don't think any of them are robots. I think they're human beings who are like brainwashed into
that. Doesn't make sense.
But
it does make sense because they're living in a city, so they can't all be robots.
I mean, I think all humans are like that. I think all the subservient people are like that. Like all the people who are not, because the people.
So what are the numbers?
I don't know. I mean, they've been. Oh, it's his. No, because they all have it because it's a central whatever number. Because she asked him.
Civic Central thing.
They go, "What's your number?" And he goes, "I didn't get a number."
So they're not robots.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Fucking hate this movie even more.
But at the same time, like I was like, they're robots, right? They're robots, and then they just never showed me that they were robots, and I was like,
because they are malfunctioning like robots at the end.
But so are all the other. But men are doing it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there are dudes who are like he walked around the corner and like opened a door and a dude walked out.
I know.
Like, so it's just the humans in the city who are not part of. And maybe everyone is. But like the people, the only people, because really the only people he interacts with who aren't like Akeem Tamarov or you know the whatever his name is, Henry, the guy who's looking for it in the first place, and like the doctor and a couple of the people who are in charge, because like in the computer talks about people of like higher intelligence.
Yeah.
And so I think that's who like those people are, I guess. They're the people who are kind of in charge and know stuff. And then there are like soldiers who are like rah, rah, rah. And then the only other people he really interacts with are the fembots or whatever. And I think that they're sort of I think they're sort of representative of the general populace. Because there's a point where he comes back and there's another seductress, and he's like, "Where's your friend?" And she's like, "She works at a flat. We just fill in." Like they're human beings. Yeah. I think they're human beings.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's just that they don't fill out this world at all. So you get nothing of like what this city really looks like in terms of its population or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it. Is that everyone's just kind of blank, and you're just supposed to. I think that's what we're supposed to infer, is that everyone just kind of walks around and lives in this sort of daze. But yeah, it's weird that they don't really show you that much. I don't know.
They're all robots? No, they're not.
I don't. Yeah. What do you do on the scary
robots.
Zango? I don't think that they are.
Which makes me even more mad at this movie, because he couldn't even give me some cool sex robots that, like, there would be something interesting there to dissect.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. Shango's playing Kingdom Hearts on the highest difficulty. What do you think about that?
Boy, I don't like that. Good luck, man. That's awful. Are you gonna do all the bosses? Because yikes.
I've always wanted to play Kingdom Hearts.
How
did Kingdom Hearts become?
I don't know.
It's just such a weird.
It is a weird combination.
Yeah. How did that become a thing?
You love Final Fantasy. You love Disney.
Yeah.
You've never talked to each other in your lives. Let's put it together, and who the heck knows? It's like there's a lot of great like Disney stuff in it. Like I really enjoyed it. And I was like, oh cool, at this level. Oh cool. And then like in the last like, I played it on normal. Mm-hmm. And then the last like maybe like third of the game or like quarter of the game or last section of the game just gets like stupid hard. And I was like, well, this is dumb. This is a game where my sidekick is Donald Duck. This shouldn't. Like,
is it like a turn-based RPG or is it action RPG?
It's an action RPG.
Yeah.
Which is why, and it's very simple to learn. And I think there's like a part like, because I guess I went and like I was playing this like Coliseum round where you like you have to like beat waves and waves of enemies, and then get to a boss, and then more waves and waves. And if you lose here, you just go back, you do whatever. And I was doing that, and that like really frustrated me. And I was like, this is dumb. I just want to get to the end of the game. I think the main game stuff is not that bad, but they have like content in it that is like apparently like ridiculously hard. So if you want to keep going and fight things that are going to make you claw one or both eyes out, then yeah.
Your HP is permanently halved. Ooh,
that's awful. That sucks.
Do they even make turn-based RPG stuff anymore? Is Final Fantasy still that?
No, it changed for the last one. But did they go back? Are they going back to it? I don't know. For kids? Oh, really? Yeah, it's for kids. Yeah. I'm trying to find.
I haven't played Final Fantasy in forever. Last one I played was freaking Final Fantasy VIII. Squall. You guys remember Squall?
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's such like remember when they did like just like that they did that little aside where they're like, oh yeah, in the electrocution theaters, which is like a crazy idea. Where like, but it's like horrifying. It's like
it's a great like there's that's what I think my frustration with this movie is that there are a lot of
remake and do well.
Yes.
And like
there's a lot of interesting ideas that were executed terribly.
Yeah.
I was into the pool scene. I was like, what an interesting, barbaric thing, but in a progressive society. And how cool is that? Not presented in an interesting way to me.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that they don't really explain it, but like, but what's obvious is they send the guy out and they get to kind of just like say their piece.
I know.
And get shot.
It's cool.
It's very good. It's kind of like The Giver or something for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another thing. This and The Giver obviously owes so much to 1984 and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting what they like. They had like a light for him when he's talking, and they had like that fan that was spitting behind springs. I mean, like
that wasn't interesting.
I mean, it's all right. Like I think because I mean,
it was annoying as shit.
But you have to think. But you have to think that
the spinning thing was cool because it even kind of fell into. I was like, oh, there's a time thing in the crescent, incline and decline, and I was like, okay, that's kind of in line. That stoplight thing that opened and closed the movie, I was like, cool. So you're just trying to give me a seizure from frame one.
Oh man. Yeah, there are things, and they would like. What was the thing they would like? They'd be like. They said it. They're like, I'm fine. Thanks. Don't mention it. Like they said that a lot, and it's kind of like, okay. Like,
and I could see what they were trying to do with that,
they
didn't do it enough or well enough to where
like they didn't pick the right thing. It's like there are things like that like aid in world building, but then it's actually very fascinating because it's one of the few examples of
poor world building.
Yeah, because most of the time stuff like that will just get cut or they won't even try it.
Yeah,
but it's like, what if it was like I feel some of the stuff is like oh man, like what if it was like this crazy like utopic society, but also it's like dystopic, and then it's like and then they're like us, but like there are just certain things that set them off. Like instead of like doing this to mean yes, they do that to mean no. I mean not that obviously, but something like that. And the guy was like, hold on, what were you saying?
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Say that
again. Like, what if what if they like pee out their butts? But poop out their wieners. And then he's like, did you just say wieners? And he's like, yes. And then he's like,
Wienerville.
Yeah.
We called it Wienerville.
It's just, yeah. And like, and then they're like, yeah, like, I don't know. But I mean, there's this nice, like, there are things about, I get it. I get why people like it. I get why, I mean, this is pre 2001, right?
Well, only by 3 years. There's so many interesting movies that have been made prior to this that have covered somewhat similar ground.
Sure.
That it's just like that's not an excuse because it's not a product of its time, which is why I genuinely think that like he had enough of a reputation at this point that this movie like just glided through the critic circles because he was a Godard movie. I don't know how I can't possibly look I'm really lenient if I think I can understand, I can put things into context.
Sure.
And I don't see how that works in 1965. It's sloppy filmmaking to me.
I think
very cumbersome. Like it's just like interesting idea, poorly executed. Do that for 5 scenes, then a really long scene with poetry in it, and then do that for the whole movie. 5 scenes of ideas that aren't working, but they're all interesting on their own. But nothing's gelling together. It just it all seemed very slapdashery. I don't know.
I see, and I kind of. I sort of disagree in the sense that, like, I feel like the things that are in there are purposeful, and he made those decisions. I just kind of go like, sometimes it does seem like he just like he was like the idea is enough, like to get the like that I had the idea is enough, and I'm communicating it, and I'm just going like, see, you get it, you get the idea. And I'm like, yeah, but like make it cool, or like yeah, but like make it memorable, and
that's fine.
Or
it's just
but,
that like when people are calling this like it's one of the Golden Bear at Berlin, I'm just like, where's the art of it? Where's the craft of like integrating an interesting idea?
I think the weirdness is the art, but I just don't know that it connects with me, and I don't know if that is a factor of not being familiar enough with the breadth of his work. Like maybe in context of his work, I go, oh yeah, this totally is a sci-fi movie that he would make, and given that, I think like I could see something like I could see if Wes Anderson made a sci-fi movie and you just took that out of context, I could see someone just going like, this is insane. None of this fits together.
In every movie he's ever made, he always tells
absolutely
a personal narrative.
Yes, and I'm not comparing. The only reason I'm comparing the two is that like he's just got a very specific kind of quirky sort of thing.
Yeah.
I love Wes Anderson. I'm just saying, I don't know that this is something that I would. And again, it's not me not getting it. It's me saying this is sloppy filmmaking that I don't think should be held up as high art, which is what it is. Absolutely is. It is, and I don't like. I was afraid I didn't get it, and then like read up on it and was like, no, yeah, I get that, or like, yeah, thanks for that insight. And I'm like, but even viewing it that way, I'm just kind of like, yeah, like.
Because I used to be like that, where I'd be like, did I not get it? And then I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, you know what, you're smart. I'm relatively smart. Smart enough to know where it's just like, I can pick up on shit and definitely view things that even I'm like, this isn't up my alley, but I can appreciate it for what it is. But if it's not working for me on a fundamental level the first time through, then it's, in my opinion, it's a failure.
And that is 100. Yeah, and that is 100% true. I think that like you can, whatever you can have layered narratives and references that people don't get. You can make it sort of an arcane film. You can whatever.
Yeah.
But bottom line, your reaction to it as a viewer is 100% legitimate, and it is. There is no other measure of how well it worked for you.
Yeah.
Now, if you go and read something or you watch another movie that gives it more context, then you appreciate it, so be it. But it's also kind of like, but like there is the argument that a movie should work on its own merit for something.
Right, yeah.
Or it doesn't have to, but like then that's just something else. You know what I mean? It's like like I can make a painting that conveys an inside joke. And people go, I don't get it. And I go, well, I know you don't.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, well then, this is not for everyone.
That's a cool inside joke for the people who are going to get this.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just is kind of like you got to, Zengo, I don't know. I think that's a really tough question. $10 billion, but you poop out your nose.
Forever?
Which one?
$10 billion or I poop out my nose?
No, 10. Well, if it was either
I have
or,
to
I would
poop out
say,
my nose for the rest of my life, and I get $10 billion.
Now I'm wondering if
is it constant? Is like happening in public? Or
like
can
whenever
I just
you
go to the bathroom and poop out my nose and then clean up and come back out?
Whenever you poop out your nose. Now, does that include the attendant like medical issues? Because like if you put that's not sanitary, you would have poop on your face and your mouth and your nose, and like.
But can I clean up?
If you can do it,
it happens whenever you have to go to the bathroom. So I can go into a bathroom,
and poop
out my nose into a
face.
toilet, clean up, and then come back out.
But what I'm asking is like if you pooped out your mouth, like all things being the same, my body being exactly the same, but poop came out of my mouth, I would have to like disinfect my mouth because I'd be eating, like poop would come up my.
Do you get sick from poop?
That's what I'm saying.
Coming out of your mouth or out of your nose?
Are there other attendant medical issues as a result of pooping out of your nose, or is your life the same? You just poop out of your nose and it's just weird.
There's no consequences.
Like you
for
don't
pooping
get
out of
like
your nose.
you don't get like E. coli because you poop out your nose. Like these are important questions. I feel like.
But here's the thing. For me, not so much. I'm doing it.
Well, here's the thing. Okay.
I'll poop out my nose. Probably gotta lose the beard.
Because here's my other thing. Like, if you get $10 billion, you can be like.
Wait, is it billion or million?
Billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other thing is that like you can take it and then like, oh no, I'm stuck with this poop out my nose thing. But it's not like there's no like you didn't get it from a gypsy or a genie. It's like you can commit 2 of those $1 billion to finding a cure for nose pooping.
No, I think you're gonna be pooping for the rest of your life like that. Even if you find a cure, your
life is exactly the same. You just poop out your nose and it's weird. Billion. Yeah. This is way more in depth than it needed to be. Just answer face value, quote unquote. See, no, I mean, I'm trying to be as honest as I can. I'm really trying to consider it. So I feel like.
Okay, but see, so here's the other thing though. Like,
how did your Godard talk go, honey? We ended up talking about whether we would take $10 billion to poop out
It went
our
to
nose.
it
sounds like a Godard
It arrived
film.
at its logical conclusion.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you're gonna be pooping out your nose though,
like, can you fix it?
You're gonna start getting that upper lip thing where
you get poop.
No matter how much you clean this up, after a couple years, there's gonna be, this is gonna start to look a little brownish, and it's gonna start to smell like poop no matter what you do. No matter what you do.
Well, your face value goes way down and poop comes out of it. Unless you are, because then you could make extra money going to it, being at a circus and like pooping out your nose.
But again, you can poop in the like it's just like normal.
Yeah.
You're going to a bathroom and you're gonna poop in the privacy of your own bathroom or in a stall. It's just coming out your nose.
So people Google bleaching your ass for your face. This is when. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this is when bleaching your upper lip is like for real something you need to look into.
Do you fart out your nose? Yeah. I don't think you fart out your nose. I think you fart out your butt, which is weird. This is a no-brainer. I do it for 10 million. Wow. I think I'd probably do it for 10 billion.
I love that
you have to worry about stuff like that.
I love the judgmental tone that you just said. You're like, oh, you do it for 10 million. I don't.
Well, I wasn't judging.
I only do it for 10 billion.
No.
Here's the thing: you do it for 10 million.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I absolutely would do it for 10 million. $10 million. All
right. Well, all right. I'm just trying to be. Yeah.
Well, the brain shouldn't go where the poop is.
That's true.
That's true.
In this scenario, you wouldn't have to worry about stuff like that. So really, the only thing is you just poop out your nose and you have that discomfort.
Then I'm absolutely doing it.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have to worry about like
medical
or cleanup or remnant smells poop lip. That's what they called Hitler. Old poop lip.
Yeah.
That's why he was as mad as he was.
So maybe you could colostomy your nose with a dark rubber hose that wouldn't be distracting.
That rhymed.
So like what I'm saying is, like, is it permissible to commit some of that $10 billion to finding a way to fix your medical problem?
No, because that's an out.
I mean, I don't know.
I think that if you're,
it would be incurable.
Yeah.
Well, that's not part of the thing.
It is though. It's 10 million for the rest of your life. That's what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha ha! Here comes hose nose. It's better than hee haw. Here comes shit face. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Give us another. Would you rather?
Yeah.
Because guess what? We're done talking about this movie.
What I like to do, we invented a game one time where it was like you, and I think we've done this. Oh, we did do this. Yeah, where it's like you take 2 actors that you love, or 2 films that you love, or 2 directors that you love, and you go like one. You have to pick one of them that never existed.
Oh,
it's hard. So it's like
give me 2.
Yeah.
Give me 2 films.
2 films. All right. We did this because remember I think I was like Saving Private Ryan or Indiana Jones, and you said I can't remember what you.
Shit.
Yeah.
I would out of obligation. I think I probably said the same thing. Out of obligation, because Saving Private Ryan made me want to be a filmmaker. I would have to say Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, but or you like Harrison Ford as Han Solo or Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones? Which would you give up?
Han Solo without question.
Interesting.
Without question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Be okay with hose nose? Make it like a cool Darth Vader. How about this? Would you pay $5,000 for the rest of your life, whenever you yawn? It sounded like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. No way. Like no way.
I have to pay $5,000 to get that?
Yeah. But that's cool. Though.
Oh, that was not even close. I don't know what that was. Sorry.
That's not paying that $5,000. That's what that gets.
Let me give you one.
Yeah.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
Or Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I think we ended up with something like this too. and I picked something and I was like, I didn't like what I picked.
I think we did. We did Dog Day and then something else, and you were like, that hurts.
I know.
Kinda, yeah.
I know. Holds us in the cactus. I don't know.
Would you rather have
I don't know, boy.
penises for fingers or
Yeah.
or
the movie Jurassic Park.
the movie Jurassic Park?
You get to keep Jurassic Park, or you get to have penises for fingers.
Or penises for fingers.
Or fingers for penises.
Or instead of a nose, you've got a butthole. And it's nothing. It's not like you're shitting out of your face or anything.
It's hard, man.
But it's a butthole. And it doesn't do it. It acts like a nose.
Yeah, butthole nose.
But it's a butthole.
That's what I would do. Butthole nose. What about you? Dick fingers? You're not thinking about dick fingers.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You don't want dick fingers.
But they act like fingers. They just look like dicks.
I get you.
Think of how good you.
Wait, they're functional. Wait, they're functional?
Well, what do you?
Like they've.
You're asking like I've thought about this a lot.
As fingers, are they functional?
Functional as in they pee?
No, like as fingers.
Yeah.
Like, can you like
yes,
write and draw and
they're fully
they just look like they're finger-sized dicks?
No, maybe your hands are a little bit bigger because I mean they're girthy dicks.
You said as
this is what happens when we watch a movie that
there's so
it's
much,
not great.
There's so much you wouldn't be able to do, or so much more you'd be able to do. Because do they work as both penises?
I think they work completely fine as fingers. You can write.
What about penises? Do they work as penises as well?
Yes.
Do you get involuntary erections?
Yes. Yes. So when you're watching something and you're like, I'm glad I have these pants on so no one can see this boner. These bad boys.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, ooh, Edward Scissorhands, but Edward
penis. Yeah. What would you pick? I guess you can wear gloves.
I'm still gonna go with penis hands.
Really? You can wear gloves more easily.
Yeah,
than wear
you could wear. Having a butthole nose.
Boy. Would you rather keep Inception or Interstellar? I would keep Interstellar, but that is a good one.
I think I would too.
Would you rather keep? Man, some of them were really mean. It was like, what was one that we did? Gosh. Yeah, some of them were just like based on like actors that we didn't like. Like I'd be like, either this, like I was like Indiana Jones and like Harrison Ford. Like all the great roles that he played disappeared, or they were played by this other actor that I didn't like, and I was like, boy, I kind of want him to just like not exist.
Whoa! So
if
you'd rather have, who's the guy? Oh man.
No, I'm sorry, I'm black. Yeah. Not your penis hands. These are different penis hands.
I'm totally spacing.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore. Would you rather have Pauly Shore act in Dog Day? Am I doing this right? In Dog Day Afternoon.
I mean, I don't know what. You sure you're doing it right?
And take over Pacino's part.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that movie is.
Mm-hmm.
Or he doesn't exist.
Or Pacino doesn't exist?
No. Pauly Shore. You have to kill him.
Wait, I have to personally kill him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then, like, I go to jail?
No. No. In fact, you get away with it. Actually, this is a really interesting game.
So I have to. The goal
is it's And it's kind of like a retroactive thing. It's like you're gonna go back in time and take away. You're gonna take away this wonderful one of your favorite movies. Yeah. But you can't
it's
save
like you
it.
have a time machine, but you're not gonna like save Kennedy or anything.
Yeah.
Or stop the Holocaust.
Yeah, you're gonna.
You have this. This is
this thing.
This is your window of influence.
It's just a movie you like, and he's gonna ruin it because he's Pauly Shore. And I mean, I got nothing against Pauly Shore, but he's not gonna do what Pacino does.
Yeah, but yeah.
But
this comparison makes it seem like you do have something because it's like either he plays this role or you physically murder this human being.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I would not murder him. I really like that performance of Dog Day, but I wouldn't murder another human being.
Well,
I guess
you must feel real good about yourself.
Because I am a phone call away.
Squeeze the juice.
Oh wow!
Oh man,
that's so funny that Attica is the like. I think it's even on like the list of like great movie quotes, and like I don't think of that. That is like by no means is that the most quotable part of Dog Day. He just like comes out and goes like he's like you see what they come on man whatever he's like Attica just did it 3 times and it's over and I'm like that and like it had just happened. I think that Attica prison riot I think it just happened, so it was like a cultural zeitgeist moment that it was in the movie, but yeah, like however many 40 years on or whatever it's been, like I'd kind of.
What filmmaker?
Yeah.
Could you, and again, this is retroactive, so you know what movies you're losing.
Yeah.
Spielberg. Or.
Like which one would I blink out of existence?
Yes.
You have to, yeah.
Spielberg or Lumet.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. All of them.
12 Angry Men.
Network.
Dogged it. I mean, yeah, Serpico Network.
The Verdict.
Yeah. The Wiz.
The Wiz.
Find Me Guilty. Which I quite like, actually.
I never saw it.
It's good.
It looked like
it
looked like a victim of a bad cover, like a bad VHS cover. Because he's like this in like the witness box, like, I don't know, find me guilty.
Yeah. And
I'm Vin Diesel with hair.
Yeah, it was weird. What is the question you asked me, Zango? As all the Harrison Ford roles were played by Danny DeVito, all the Danny DeVito roles were played by Harrison Ford. Yeah, there was something like this that we did too. I love Danny DeVito.
Me too. I love Danny DeVito. He's still cranking out beautiful material.
So, like, in each instance, one of them disappears, or we flip. Well, I guess because if you flip, there's no difference. So in one instance, Danny DeVito disappears and all his roles are played by Harrison Ford. You know what? I'm gonna pick Danny DeVito.
To do what? Have his entire career replaced by Harrison Ford?
Yeah,
he's going to replace Harrison Ford's career.
He replaces Harrison Ford.
So Indiana Jones with Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
because the other option is putting Harrison Ford in Danny DeVito's roles, which doesn't. That's not as fun.
I want to see twins.
That's so funny because I was thinking twins too, but then I was like, but that's not as fun because I'm like, I mean, they're the same height now.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's like,
they're both dashing men, you know?
Yeah, and he's going, Schwarzenegger's going like, what are we going to do, Vincent? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And they're both bubbling.
It's so
they
funny
both seem like they're from space.
Like Harrison Ford is a terrific actor.
I love Harrison Ford.
But it is impossible to do an impersonation with him without making him seem like he is utterly confused at what he's doing all the time.
Yeah. Which is what makes him very interesting as a young actor, because he's like,
Mm-hmm.
But like as he gets older, you're just kind of like, oh, he's just really
cranky.
He's lost.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Hugh? I mean, whatever. Harrison Ford's a legend. Would you rather? And if you watch like Regarding Henry or something, he's
a brilliant Mosquito Coast.
Mosquito Coast.
Is maybe his best performance in my opinion.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
So good.
Would you rather have Hugh Jackman's Wolverine not exist, or Wolverine be played by Rob Schneider? So like no Wolverine whatsoever.
And we never get any Wolverine films. Or
have them all be Rob Schneider.
I gotta say, I want to see that Rob Schneider version. I want to see it.
I haven't seen the animal.
Because imagine in the first X-Men, when you're first introduced to Wolverine, he's in that cage in like the middle of Calgary, Canada, or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just in jeans and no shirt.
Yeah.
You just see his back.
Yeah.
But it's not the chiseled back of Hugh Jackman.
You're right. It's
Rob
the chiseled back of Rob Schneider. Yeah.
He's got the mutton chops.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Remember when Rob Schneider was in like Judge Dredd?
Yep.
He was like comedic relief for Stallone. Because wasn't he in Demolition Man? No.
I don't know.
He wasn't one of the police. That was Benjamin Bratt.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to do a Stallone month.
Sure. I'm on board with that.
And we're gonna do Cobra.
Boy, yeah. I think my brain is too fried.
Yeah, mine too.
I can't think of any of these really great, terrible things. Because some of them are like, I don't know. Yeah.
Would you rather have Gene Hackman in French Connection?
Okay.
Or Gene Hackman in Royal Tenenbaums?
He was in Demolition Man? As the guy who teased him about not knowing how to do
No.
the seashells? Lobo friend. What's up, Pixel?
What's up?
They're played by Schwarzenegger and Arnold, but they're played by Stallone. Yeah, like lose one?
Also,
you know what? I was about to be like Schwarzenegger, but like we lose Rocky. I mean Rocky.
But then you lose Terminator and T2. I would much rather lose Rocky than T2.
Oh, that was weird. Really?
Without question.
I love Rocky though.
I love Rocky too, but like I've seen no, because Rocky does what it does very well, but I've seen that story a million times.
But like
it does it great, and it probably does it better than almost anybody else. But it had been done before his movie, so you're not losing that arc.
It's not, but it's not so much like I love Rocky, but I love Rocky. I love that character. I love that character. I love that character. That character is maybe the most. I mean, it's one of the most relatable and engaging.
So you'd rather lose Terminator?
I'm not saying that. I'm just
Terminator
saying.
2.
Well, we wouldn't lose him. It just wouldn't be played by Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And you know what? As much as I love Schwarzenegger, I would much rather lose. This is weird. I would much rather lose him in Terminator than I would lose him in Kindergarten Cop, because someone could step into Terminator and play his role, and we would lose less about that movie.
So we don't lose Terminator.
No, we just lose Schwarzenegger.
It's just Stallone in.
Well, Stallone is Terminator. That's kind of weird.
It is, but it's not.
Weird.
If it's the same movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't want anyone else playing Rocky.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't know. I mean, because that's just the best marriage of actor. I mean, not because he wrote it, but that's like the best marriage of actor and character of all time. Maybe. Goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
I'll say this much. I'm more fascinated by Stallone's career. And more... But I think my fascination with Stallone is the choices he made throughout his career and the hubris he showed, and the way, like, his ego and how it went full, and like what you can accomplish when you're at full. Like, have you ever seen Tango and Cash?
No.
It's fucking awesome, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It literally starts before anything happens in that movie. It's just a black screen, and it's just Stallone out of the darkness. Before anything happens, he goes, "Here we go." And then it goes, boom, like a 20th Century Fire or whatever. And you're just like, wow, That absolutely didn't need to be in there, but I guarantee you was it "Let's Do It"? Is that what he says? He's like, "Let's do it." It's like
a rap song or something.
It's so ridiculous, but it's absolutely something that I guarantee you Stallone was like, I'm putting this in, and I'm Stallone at the height of my powers, so you're not going to say no to this.
And that's great.
And it's I mean, but you see that a lot throughout his movies, at particularly in the late '80s, early '90s, where you can see that because he takes a writer's credit on almost all his movies up to a certain year, and because because of Rocky, and he got a screenplay Oscar for that and stuff.
Right.
He thought he was a phenomenal writer. He's not, but
Rocky's great.
It is great.
Yeah,
but that's it. Like Rocky, and he's got the Rambo franchise, and that's cool. But like, he's just a fascinating individual, and I'm obsessed with his filmography because you just see. You're just like, whoa, this is a wild ride. Cobra is crazy. And it's all seemingly in service of his ego as an actor. Yeah. He just is like, I want to look cool in every shot. I want to say cool things like I'm the disease, you're the disease, I'm the cure. Yeah. Like, I'm going to wear my cool sunshades, my aviator glasses in the middle of a pitch black grocery mart and kill everybody, and I'm like chewing a toothpick. And
such a strange thing too, because like it seems very much to be like the product of it's good big of that time, because I mean in theory he's like. I mean, he's the Good Will Hunting story, right? Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Like he kind of came out of nowhere, wrote the script, you know, held on to it until he was cast in it, and then like knocked it out of the park and was amazing. If he came of age, so to speak, now, I think after that he would go off and do indie stuff, right? And he would do more. He would stretch himself more. I would think, potentially, like because his performance in Rocky is unbelievable. I like it. It's so incredibly human, and he has that in him. I just can't.
But what happened to him is that that's what makes him so fascinating. Is his fame informed his decision making into what roles he took. Because his performance in Rocky is so amazing because he's directly applying it to his life as a struggling actor up till that point. And so it's very earnest, and that earnestness just reeks of truth, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, Zango, exactly. I've said this before, but literally all the Rocky movies reflect Stallone's career at the time of making them.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah, and it's probably why those are his best movies, even the ridiculous ones. Yeah. Like, which one has a robot in it? Was that Rocky
3, maybe, or 4? Yeah, I don't know. And like the fact that he refused to let anyone else do it and stuck to his guns until he was cast is pretty awesome.
It is.
And it's awesome because it paid off and resulted in a fantastic performance, a fantastic movie. Now, if it hadn't, then who knows? Either keep Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood, or we keep Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now.
Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now.
I'm not a
sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's just... that movie wouldn't be what it was without Martin Sheen. And I understand that, like, it's my favorite movie. But he adds so much to that movie with his voiceover.
For whatever reason, I just keep thinking of that part in Hot Shots where they drift by. It's part 2, I think, where they drift by each other, and their voiceover overlaps.
That, yeah.
And then Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, they walk up and they go, I loved you in Wall Street." It's great.
Oh so man, great. That's so weird.
I love those movies. But we're gonna do
Father Son.
Well, we're gonna, yes, yeah, and then I'll just sob the whole time. But we're gonna do, oh, you mean like father son actor? Yeah. Kirk and Michael.
Yeah. There's a crazy amount of nepotism that goes on. Like, I mean,
it's stuff we don't.
Like most actors that we know that you know of today.
Oh yeah.
They're they have a relative of some sort. Who is
100%.
Integrated firmly into the Hollywood system.
100%. Like people you don't even think of, like Gyllenhaal, his dad is the director. The Deschanels, their dad is a wonderful cinematographer.
Blade Runner.
Things you don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like even weird ways.
Who's Rooney Mara?
Yeah, their dad is like he owned the New York Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, Even though we said the other, Get Out, the girlfriend in Get Out is the daughter of Brian Williams, the NBC
Oh
news
yeah,
anchor.
that's
I
right.
mean, like
Joaquin Phoenix, River Phoenix.
Yeah. Literally everyone's you're a Coppola. Everyone's a Coppola. I'm a Coppola.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is a freaking Coppola. That
Yeah.
blew my mind when I first heard that.
Yeah. Apocalypse Now or Taxi Driver.
Apocalypse Now.
It would keep RoboCop 1 or 2. That's not a question. I don't even
2 all the way.
Because 1 is the only one that exists, so I don't understand. What is this fictitious? But yeah. Oh, what I was going to say is that when we do, because what I love about this is that we can have themes and stuff, but then we can just do like little director series too.
Yeah.
I want to do the Zucker brothers because they're amazing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Hot Shots, Top Secret, Hot Shots Part 2.
Wrongfully Accused.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Police Squad even.
Yeah.
I mean those are TV shows. Yeah.
Heat or Thief. Ooh, that's tough, but I'll go definitely Heat.
I've never seen.
Because he perfected it with Heat, and like you see a lot of the traits in Thief.
Home Alone or Die Hard.
Ooh,
that is really tough.
Shit.
Because they are, it's the kid.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's the kid real Christmas. I know we've already said Die Hard is a Christmas movie, but Home Alone's like a Christmas movie. I'm gonna keep Home Alone. That sucks, but I'm gonna keep Home Alone.
I might have to agree with you, and that breaks my heart.
I know. Home Alone means more to me personally. It just does. Die Hard's amazing. Amazing. I love it so much. Hey, Sid Burrito. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. You all right. Everything's cool. 2001 or A Clockwork Orange. 2001.
2001. Yeah.
I haven't even seen all.
I like Clockwork Orange, but 2001. Yeah. Which, by the way, next week, 2001: Space Odyssey.
2001. Yeah. That'll be.
And on that note,
yeah,
I feel like I need to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're both very tired.
I'm
this
exhausted.
Week. I don't know why.
I'm exhausted. I know why, because I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning and then realized I had to watch a movie.
Oh.
But I kind of just didn't, and what I did was I slept until like 8, and then tried to get up and do. Do you have butthole face? Oh. Because. Shink! Flop, 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 flop. Hey, yeah, we're tired.
It wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Especially if you
penises as hands.
If you had to like, but
it's
not balls. It's not penis and balls. It's just a couple of it's just a couple of shafts. It would be weird if you had balls and so you'd have
and they were
5,
sensitive.
so you'd have 10 balls.
Well, can you imagine that?
And your palms would just be testicles.
Yeah, and
what if it was just one giant testicle with 10 balls in it?
What? Oh, this is paging Mr. Cronenberg. Goodness gracious. But like,
sorry.
Yeah, but like, well, the worst thing would be is if they were sensitive. If they were sensitive like testicles.
Yeah, that would suck.
Because that would just be awful.
That would be awful. Playing catch.
We just wouldn't. You wouldn't.
No, you'd still want to have a catch.
But you wouldn't, because you would be like.
You'd be like, yeah, I know, but like, I gotta have a catch.
Be like, guys, though. Guys, and they're like, nah, man, come on, boom, boom, boom. And then
but what if they're like,
touch you with
like,
my dick hand?
You're like, we gotta reach that thing, but no one has long enough fingers.
Get him excited.
Be like, get him excited real quick. Reach behind that cabinet.
Goodness gracious. Hey, what's up, Spartan Ward?
Yeah. What's up?
This has been
Jaws of the Shining. Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws.
Jaws. Love The Shining though, but Jaws.
Yeah.
Next
well, guys,
we're gonna be back on track.
We talked about Godard, and we talked about penis hands, and we talked about really mostly penis hands.
Yeah.
I'm so dead tired, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll play some games. We will be back next week, and we'll do 2001. This, I mean, again, the movie. With some effort, I enjoyed it.
I can't recommend it. I would say don't watch it.
I wouldn't keep the De Palma and Scarface. I'm like, I haven't even seen all of Scarface.
Here's another hot take. Scarface doesn't do much for me.
Yeah.
Heat is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Get some rest. I would love to. Oh, sorry. We're gonna do 2001. This is Yeah, it's its own thing, and I think the other thing that we can't, I think we cannot like, I don't think we can, I don't think we can discount the influence that Godard had on other people.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I can't.
No, I know. It's a fair point. Fair point. It's kind of like you know, when you go to fast food and you're like, man, I really like Jack in the Box or something, but like in McDonald's, like that, but like without Jack in the Box, there's no McDonald's.
Here's the deal. Godard's that guy at the party that thinks he's the center of the party and he thinks he's spouting off like a lot of like really smart shit. He's not. And he's wearing,
Got him!
And he's wearing a scarf.
Yeah, yeah. If you had to give it like a out of 10,
I give it a 2.
yeah,
That's a real honest score. I would give it a 2. 1 point for making it, because it's hard to make movies.
Yeah.
2 points for having some interesting ideas. And then everything else, yeah, 2.
I think
I really didn't like it. I just
Yeah,
I didn't think
no,
it was
I
a good.
get
I
you.
just didn't think it was a good movie.
I get you. I think I would give it a 4 to 5.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it a. See, the thing is, honestly, I'd probably give it a 5 because it has more interesting ideas than an average film.
That's fair.
But it doesn't, like the fact that it.
I felt like it willingly. It's the same thing at like my issues with like Knight of Cups, where I'm like, you willingly went in another direction to make a point, and I'm like, but you went in another direction. You posited these interesting ideas, and then you willingly went to another thing. Like in Knight of Cups, all of Dennehy's stuff with the dad, I was like, there's a fascinating movie in and of itself with Brian Dennehy there, giving the performance of like what may be his life.
Sure.
And you're willingly, literally taking the camera and going to a curtain behind him to make a point. Yeah. Like it's a conscious decision.
Absolutely.
And it's just a decision I didn't agree with.
But the thing is, and like stuff like that, like the decisions in Knight of Cups that make it sort of non-traditional to me are in service of the story.
Absolutely, and these
here I kind of they're almost.
That's an informed decision,
yeah,
and I can at least respect it.
And I think
this I was just like, I feel like you tried to hide behind bad decision making by saying it's art and be like, hey, isn't it different? And I'm like, no, it's just.
I think
sloppy.
I think the style and the story here are kind of exist in different realms.
Yeah.
Like it's just like this is the style, and then I'm using that style to tell the story, and
terrible way to make a movie.
Yeah.
He did just take, and he just took one, and it wasn't undergrad. That's it. This guy, I don't like this guy.
Well, he's
Breathless next week.
Yeah. This is an all Godard. I would love to revisit him. I'd love to revisit him.
I would like to watch more of his stuff to get a better understanding of him. Yeah. I was ragging on him particularly harshly just to spice it up.
Yeah.
Because frankly, I just found the movie utterly dull. Like I just thought it was a very boring movie.
And I could have. I think I chose not to. I think I could have.
Yeah, you could.
I did not.
You're just nicer.
Well, no.
That's very nice.
No.
That's nice of you to say. But that's exactly what it is.
But I will say that yeah, I did it. I was into it sort of, but it was willingly.
Would you say it's a bad movie? There's the fundamental difference right there, because it is a bad movie, and he knows it is.
It didn't.
It doesn't mean like I'm not.
It's not a great movie for me. It's not a great movie.
Yeah,
definitely not a great movie. It's got some stuff in it. All right, guys.
Here's your headline.
There's some stuff in this thing.
It's like, did you see the new review? They said there was some stuff in it.
It's like,
we did it again.
Like,
we did it again, Gene.
They said there was stuff in it. Oh, they didn't. We tried to put no stuff in it. We tried so hard.
We tried so hard not to put stuff in it.
Why is this accent? I'm not doing. I'm sorry, guys. Goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep
This
and I'll be back.
exists.
Yeah. We'll be back at you. Hey, if you want to get your sweet Filmography t-shirts, check out or cups.
These really are so cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, yeah.
Get a shirt, man.
Or like a cup or a sticker or a laptop. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything.
I'm gonna get a cup and I'm gonna drink out of it.
Yeah.
Is it like? Can I get a mug?
You can get a mug.
Oh, I'm gonna get a mug.
You can get a mug. And just kind of like walk around the house with it.
Yeah.
Just
She's like, hey, Kelsey,
yeah,
look,
she'll be like,
this show. This show I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Did you?
that's
Do you want to? Yeah, because she's like, I know. You got it.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah, I know you watched it.
Don't watch ALPHAVILLE again.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Buy that mug.
Buying the shit out of a mug and then you're shitting into the mug with your nose. See you guys later.
Hey, see you next week.
We will. Yeah.
Get your
2001.
filmography mugs.
2001, guys. 2000.
I'm gonna get a mug when I get home, and then hopefully I'll have it in time for next week, and I'm gonna sip out of it.
That's awesome. We'll go get ALPHAVILLE, guys. Thank you for joining us. I know it was a weird one. It was our first one back. Lots and lots of love. 2001 next week. I'm excited for another movie that I probably don't understand. I mean, I do.
It's actually, it's just great. It's a great movie.
That's cool.
Join us next week. We'll both be well rested.
I mean, probably not, but better rested.
And reviewing a movie that we like.
Lots and lots of love, guys. And boy, let me tell you, I don't know if you guys haven't seen. If you want to check out the Twitter, we have a little promo that tells you what movies we're doing. So we started with ALPHAVILLE. We are doing 2001. Following that, we are doing. Oh my gosh, guys! Oh my gosh, we're going to be doing Demon Seed, which I am both very excited about.
I'm very excited about that.
Really,
movie.
like, is this a good idea about? Because oh my gosh, if you don't
even if we don't like it, I guarantee you it's not going to be boring.
It won't be boring.
It's not going to be boring.
It's ridiculous.
Can you put the trailer in the chat or in the what's it?
Check out. Super excited for her. I can't wait for her.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna spill. What I love about her, I love her. I love her so much.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna dovetail really nicely into
Lost
what
in
we're doing. We're doing for February. Yeah, which is
whatever we're doing.
Whatever it is. Yeah. So rock and roll. Here's the Demon Seed.
Dude, I'm so excited for Demon Seed.
So I'm excited for everything from here on out.
Yeah.
This was a wild. Well,
we took a chance.
Yeah, we did.
You know what? We took a chance.
Good for us.
That damn cover though was super misleading. And good for them because they did a great job. What a cover is supposed to do is to fool you into watching your subpar movie.
Well, I still think that the imagery is.
It's not.
It is though. There's some real, like there's profile kind of like passport shots. I like it. I know you've seen
that a million times.
I know it's great.
In other better
movies
1965. Made before this.
All right. Okay, fine. I'm sorry, Jean-Luc. I tried. Nah, man, I didn't try that.
You thought he was dead.
It's true. Well.
You were getting real buddy-buddy with him, but you thought he was a deceased person till about 30 minutes ago.
It's true. It's true. Well, yeah, that's not my favorite. But romance movies, we will be doing romance.
February, baby, is gonna be romance.
And then after February, well, we'll talk about what we're doing after February. But we will be coming back to AI because then at some point in the future, maybe March, but who knows? We'll be doing AI with robots. And then we'll be doing more AI with computers and more AI with robots. And AI is just an interesting thing to come back to. But we've got so much good stuff coming. So much stuff that I'm really excited to watch. And
what about the best romance movie ever? Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah. We'll have that. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's definitely...
You guys are cool.
All right, yeah. Love you guys. Sorry I'm so ding-dang exhausted. I'll see you back tomorrow. I'll feel better. And go get ALPHAVILLE, ask him what's up. And... Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year. And we are going to have a fun January. Lots and lots of love.
Lots of love. Thanks for sticking out on this one.
Thanks to Jeff Ray. Thanks to you guys. Go say what's up to Alla. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Alan Rickman.
Guys.
Love him.
And Alan Rickman.